Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey, did you guys hear about the serial killer who murdered prostitutes by stabbing them with car keys?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he did the hokey pokey and then turned himself around.
Oh my God.
Hey, serial killer jokes are okay as long as they're properly executed.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas as in Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana. I am your father.
Hello and welcome to Three Geeky Dads, the show that puts the psych in psycho, as in we are psyched to be your psychos over the podcast waves or whatever.
Started so strong.
I know, and podcasting. I am Mark, and with me as always are the helter and skelter to my Manson,
Derek,
Brian.
and completing this foursome of frenzy is the man as sexy as Sharon Tate, and like Sharon Tate, got into the wrong crowd, mainly us, the man who says F you to math, and the title accuracy of our show, Tito.
Hello.
Gents,
Tito.
I'm going to tell you right now, that joke, I don't like the hokey pokey.
The hokey poke's a dumb
I
game.
hate the
It's a
hokey.
dumb
I
game.
would kill
It's fun for kids.
the person initiating the hokey pokey before I would kill a prostitute.
Oh, okay.
That's my thought for the week. How about you guys? How's your week, man?
Hey, I finally watched Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Wow.
I did, and I'm going to say it was better than 3.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
so
All right.
I
said that begrudgingly.
secede from the
I
union.
have to think about that for a minute.
It's better than 3, I guess.
Damn, that's a
Fuck
big
yeah,
bitch.
it's better than 3.
It was
It
good.
is.
It was a little too
Totally.
serious.
Bogart Mill.
Serious like Brian.
Bogart
Say
Get
Bogart
shot.
Mill, yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I've actually seen part 2 myself. I know I've seen 1. I know I've seen 3.
The one with
I
Bridget
had to have
Nielsen.
seen.
All that shit you guys
yeah, I
gave
did
me.
see it. I
just-
And Brian.
I just don't remember.
Well,
it.
He's not like, oh,
He
3's
kept his
amazing.
mouth
I've
shut.
never heard Brian once say, 3, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
Three
no.
of- I think they're
Like,
all good.
never.
I
think
still
every one of
enjoy
these
three.
movies
Ever,
are
ever.
good.
I still enjoy 3. I agree.
Same.
Never,
This
not
is a
one
great.
time.
My ranking is 2, 3, 1.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I'm honestly, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. That's mine. In case I still like the first one.
I'm with you, Mark.
1, 2, 3.
2
And I
and 1 are
love
so
the second
close.
one.
They're making a 4th one.
Yeah, we'll see. How
I
that
hope you
does.
don't like it. That way you can be 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor.
That's the combination to
And then
Mel
you do the hokey
Brooks's
pokey.
Oh, that's right.
You turn yourself around.
luggage and Spaceballs. Actually, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's my luggage
That's a combination of my luggage.
Yep. All right, good talk. Tonight we continue our In the March of Madness month with a look at the civilized serial killer, the musing mass murderer, and lavish lunatic that is Patrick Bateman and director Mary Herring. Herring or Herrings? Herring, right?
Aaron.
Mary Herron's American Psycho, a film that proves that at one time I did not want to punch Christian Bale in the face and actually enjoyed his company, which is ironic seeing how he plays a serial killer and a slasher in this movie. Go figure. But before we grab our axe and Huey Lewis albums, our own sociopath of sumptuous snacking, Brian, has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off. Brian,
Yes.
I turn the podcast wave over to you.
The podcast wave.
It should be a wave.
Yeah.
Catch a wave.
And you're sitting on top of the world.
Or on top of the podcast.
No, I want to know. Okay, I came here for the cilantro crawfish gumbo, all right, which is, after all, the only excuse one can have for being in this restaurant, which is, by the way, almost completely empty.
I'm very sorry, sir.
J&B straight and a Corona.
Would you like to hear the...
Double absolute martini.
Yes, sir. Would you like to hear the specials?
Not if you want to keep your spleen.
All right, tonight, as Mark mentioned, we're continuing this year's In the March Madness series with a look at American Psycho. This film from the year 2000. The year 2000. It tells the story of Patrick Bateman, played by Christian Bale, a wealthy New York City investment banking executive who hides his psychopathic alter ego from his vapid, shallow coworkers and friends as he slips deeper and deeper into giving in to his violent and hedonistic fantasies. This movie is based on the controversial novel by Bret Easton Ellis, and many consider the story to be almost unfilmable due to its over-the-top violence, gore, and treatment of women. But despite that, it did indeed get made, and it became a modest hit. And now, almost 25 years later, it's a cult favorite. So, we got to wondering, what are some of our favorite films that were also based on controversial novels, gentlemen?
All right, so we should be starting with me, but tonight's movie is a Derek pick, and everybody else got to
They don't need
start
to know.
with their movie. So
We don't owe them an explanation.
We know. They don't need to know.
I'm going to tell them. I'm just going to tell them. In case they're wondering, why is this out of order? We expect to hear Mark.
People were slamming on their brakes. Saying,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah, wait a minute, last
Exactly.
week it was Tito. It should be Mark now.
What else have you lied to us about, Three Geeky Dads and Tito?
Y'all have luxurious hair? I don't think so.
Oh, somewhere, but anyway. Hi,
On your
Mom.
chin.
Well played.
So,
I shaved it off my back.
anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by Sharon Tate over here, Derek.
Yeah.
I was interrupted
I
by
thought Derek
Tito.
was going first.
Derek,
Oh,
you're going
me?
first.
I'm going first? All right.
All right, everybody in. It's a free-for-all.
This one was a tough one because there's a lot of good ones that I didn't even think of. And then I was looking online and I didn't realize there's so much controversy with so many different books. But I picked Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Good
Yes,
pick.
because I dug the movie. I know it was kind of like a dud, money-wise or whatever. But
watered down.
but it's hard to think of weaving all those terrible tales into a cohesive story. So, but it definitely brought the imagery from Elf Schwartz a series to the screen perfectly.
And Guillermo del Toro didn't direct it; he just produced it.
Yeah, he produced it, and you can tell
I thought it was fine.
Some of the creatures and stuff, the monsters, they looked just like what you saw in the book, and it's the stuff that gave me nightmares. That and they're controversial books. There was a series of 3 of them. These books were horrifying, and yet we were obsessed with them as preteens. Like, it was the big thing. Like, everybody had them.
Is this what you graduated from R.L. Stein to?
No, actually,
it was
the
before.
funny thing
Was
is
it
that it was
really?
before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was before.
Because these books came out
right.
after
I remember
my
reading
time.
these as like a little kid at my grandmother's house.
Right.
The girl with the
Yeah.
head and the ribbon.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
and her fuzz
I
like,
think
"Where's my
I
toe?"
just think they watered down the movie.
Ty
I don't think it
Doty
was scary
Walker.
enough. They could have gone a little darker with it. Everything was flooded in a lot of CGI, and it looked so. It didn't look real. Like, it was real. There were real people in it, but they didn't look real. Everything was flooded in just a lot of weird ass red light at times.
Well, that
and-
surprises me.
Well, there's like the big person,
Yeah.
Right.
With that character.
I forget the name of
room
that.
goes
And it was
red.
that was a cool looking.
But that looked just like the drawing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
And-
saying. That surprised me what Mark said.
Right.
Being that it's produced by Guillermo del Toro,
I love
and he's
Guillermo del Toro.
notorious for using practical effects. He would have thought that
I think it just
Yeah,
he
see,
would
I
have
don't think
stepped
it-
in.
name on
And
this
I think it is most of it is practical.
for real.
it's
Yeah.
so
Thinking
real
of a
it looks
different movie?
fake.
Well, I'll give it another watch.
I actually.
I remember thinking
I
it was
liked
kinda
the effects,
weak.
but I thought that I remember them being more CGI than anything.
See, I don't
Like
remember
the
as
spiders
much.
coming out of the
Well,
girl's
yeah,
face.
That was that. Yeah,
which
Clearly.
I still thought was scary as fuck.
Right.
But, yeah, I thought that.
But
like the guy in the jail, I was like, he's
But like,
They didn't do the
but that
cheat
big
story, the
one
guy with the
and
big teeth.
and the scarecrow, like those were two of the creepiest things from the books that I can remember.
Well, those looked exactly
Right,
like the Yeah,
right.
no, those.
So-
It was good. It wasn't bad. I just wish they had again gone a little.
It was fun. I and they were supposed to make more. I wish they had.
And they never did, huh?
No,
Saw it in
but
the
that's my
theaters.
pick.
I thought it was fun.
So I'm going with Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange. One of my all-time favorite movies. I actually saw the movie before I read the book. I went back and I read the book, and I love the book as well. The book is very controversial because, like tonight's movie, it's all about ultra-violence and just debauchery and just doing what you want for kicks. And it's a good read, but it's a tough read. But the movie I thought was fantastic. It's Stanley Kubrick and starring Malcolm McDowell, and it's wonderful. Love it.
I didn't see the end of that movie for years. We would watch it. I had a friend. We used to watch it all the time, like the first half, and then pass out watching the movie. And then it came to the Avon.
Oh, yeah.
For a midnight show, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh, we went and saw it, and then I finally saw the end, and I was like, well, that's a completely different movie than the first half.
They cured him.
That one turned.
And then they uncured him.
Yeah, right. But that was
I was
something we
cured
watched
all right.
all the fucking time.
Love it.
Gorgeous
Good
and
movie.
gorgeosity. Yeah, that is a great movie, and
The Red
it is a good
Groovy
book, too.
flowed real horror show.
I couldn't think of a book that I have read that was controversial, but the first thing that popped into my head that was something written that was controversial was Spotlight, based on the Golden Globe Spotlight articles about priests.
Oh, yeah.
That they turned into a movie, and it's a pretty controversial subject, and it took them years to write the article, and it took them even longer to make a movie about the article.
Yeah.
And it's tough subject matter, but it's a really fucking awesome movie with a great
cast, yeah.
and it brought light to a pretty heinous topic. So that was the only thing I could think of.
Well, it's outside the box,
Yeah.
but in a good way. In a good way, I like that. I did The Godfather by Mario Puzo. Apparently, there were a lot of Italian Americans that took offense to this book.
Were there sharks
When
in
this
that
came
in the
out.
book?
Sharks,
like Jaws had
like
gangsters
Jaws
in
had
it?
the mafia. No.
Is there a shark in it?
No sharks. It would have been better if there had been.
It's a hell of a
Does Vito
crossover.
Corleone
Jaws
own a
had not
shark
come out yet.
in the book?
You mean like Dr. Evil? He had like a pool of sharks.
Yeah. He
All
was chasing
talking,
his
all
grandkids
talking
around
like
with
him.
the
Freaking laser beams on
Yeah, mutated sea bass.
Put laser beams attached to their heads. Something. No. They got up. Italian Americans. A lot of them got upset because all of a sudden, if you were Italian in any capacity at that time, you were automatically thought to have mob ties, and that's a stereotype we still got today, gentlemen.
Yeah,
and
Marcus
this,
has mob suspenders.
always. I get horse heads every other day in my bed. It's terrible.
No mob ties, just suspenders.
That's Sarah
suspend
leaving
shoes.
those in your bed.
That's Sarah.
Living in the spaghetti.
Alligator. Take the trash out.
The spaghetti.
Leave this horse head in your bed.
You see what she did to your car? She thought you
Put
were
the,
in it.
put the fucking air conditioner in. I'm gonna leave this horse head in the bed. Right? Every time you slack off,
The head would be bigger than her. I don't think it would work.
How hilarious would that
would be
be?
kind of
She's
hilarious watching
carrying
her
a
carry
fucking
us
horse's
every
head?
night. Anyway, where was I? What am I talking about?
Godfather.
You
The
guys made
Godfather.
me
And the
lose my
Italians.
train of
Italian
thought.
Americans.
Yeah,
and
so they were. A
connections to
lot
the
of them were
mafia.
upset. That's a stereotype that still goes on today in this rather sensitive world where we've canceled or changed a lot of stereotypes. Nobody, we have a lot of problems with how certain cultures are portrayed, but the Simpsons can still have Luigi, and we still have Mario, and we still have we got rid of the crows from Dumbo, but I guess we kept the fat Italian singers from Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, really?
We were all right. So the bottom line, Italians don't give a shit, I guess, because we're fine. We just put sauce on everything, and all's good. Including bread, and that's substantial enough, Dean, because I know you're listening, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
But the love of those movies is so
It is,
strong.
but that wasn't the only reason.
People
now, the
love those
critics
movies.
thought this was a movie that
Sopranos.
glorified not only violence, but gangsters. It glorified the
Well, it
mob.
kinda did.
It did. Into something that might be kind of fun to be in.
Yeah.
And back then, that was a definite no-no to Daffy.
That movie's a fucking cautionary tale. If you watch
I know.
Godfather and you're like, I want to
Right.
live this life,
Totally.
Yeah.
you're fucking insane.
Well, they all are. Name me a mob movie that ends well. Maybe a gangster movie that ends well. No, none of them are walking away happy.
None of them.
No.
Johnny Dangerously.
I'm not kissing Fredo on the mouth.
Married to the mob.
Johnny.
Get Shorty. That's a fun. That is.
Name me a real mob movie.
You fargan assholes.
All right, this took me way too long to do to get my point across.
What was the point again?
I don't even know.
Oh, we missed it.
I don't even know. It wasn't garbage. It was garbage. Garbage.
It was a controversial topic.
It was.
The making of a movie about gangsters.
Yes, and people did not like it. That's all I got, though. And yeah, it became a film. It became a trilogy from Francis Ford Coppola. You know the story. You know, 1 is awesome. 2 is great. Nobody likes 3. You get the same reaction Tito gives people who like Beverly Hills Cop 3. We give that reaction to Godfather 3. So,
Yeah.
you know, anybody says Godfather.
It's appropriate.
It is. It is.
That's an appropriate reaction.
Right.
It is. If you were like, Godfather 3 is my favorite, I'd be like, wow.
Fuck off.
You got hit in the head with something? No, I'm saying if somebody told me that.
Yeah.
Right.
I
He
would
looked
say,
right
like,
at
you're
you.
No, he
insane.
did look right at me.
looked
Oh,
right
no,
at
no,
you,
no, no.
Derek.
I was looking through. You know how I look. My eyes wander.
Yeah, you know how he lets his eyes
Derek, my
wander.
eyes
like
wander.
never.
Right.
It never happens.
No.
Don't
I
let
was
him
looking
fool
at
you.
that ghost.
Don't let him
pop
manipulate
figure.
you.
I wouldn't be surprised. is all I'm saying.
No,
Run it.
I'm with the
I
normal
saw it
people for the
first.
Godfather trilogy.
I saw it first. I started with 3, went backwards.
1, 2, and that's it. 3 is there for Andy Garcia. You watch.
I've
Andy
never
Garcia.
seen 3.
Do you want to?
I've never seen 3 either.
I think about watching it sometime.
Have you
need
seen
to
the
see
new
it.
cut though?
I did see the new cut.
Is it any good? Or no?
Doesn't make hardly
doesn't
any
change
difference.
anything.
No, Sophia Coppola's still in it. It just she's the big reason.
Thought about watching it many times.
I think
but
you should, Tito.
I've never
And
seen it.
I want this to be your favorite, so
Oh,
Derek
and
and
then-
I can have our.
Well, I've already
revenge.
that
seen
would
1
be
and
awesome.
2.
Yeah, because you know, as stated, all Italians weren't revenge mob style, as the book stated.
Well, I did what normal people do. I started with 1, and then I went to 2, and then I didn't watch 3 because everybody said it was trash.
Tito,
So
first
if
of
I've
all-
never seen a trilogy of something and someone is sitting down to watch the part 3 of something and I'm hanging out, I'm supposed to say, no, I can't see this because I haven't seen the other
Why are
ones.
you making me watch the 3rd one?
Yeah,
No,
I would
I'll
say
just
so.
jerk.
What if you just went because you wanted to hang out with your friends and you
Right.
wanted to hang out in a movie theater because that's what
Right.
hof with me?
Hey, what's playing?
Yeah.
Part 3 of
Missed
this. Oh, I haven't seen the other ones, but that's all right. I like
You missed
popcorn.
out.
You know, we're in a multiplex. There's 7 other movies we could choose.
Yeah.
No, we weren't. We were in one of those little theaters
It's a
in Maine.
multiplex.
So she knows it's a multiplex.
It's a multiplex.
You saw the 4th Hellraiser movie first.
Lilo
You should
Dallas,
be the
multiplex.
last.
True.
You
I've
should
never
see
seen
the last
1.
person to talk about anything.
But I may see 1 and say like, wow, that's great. Way better than 4 and 3.
And I fully admitted that.
Yeah.
That the second
I'm
was.
saying.
So stop.
The first
Yeah.
one's better also. Just
drop, you know?
Just drop.
Just drop it.
Just stop, drop, and roll.
Listen, you thought I was talking about you when I said the Godfather thing. I wasn't.
He was just looking in
You
your
were like,
direction.
oh man, he's judging me.
He was looking at Brian's wonderful toys.
Look at him watching,
Dude, my
judging. Look at the
eyes
baby.
wander
Look at the
all
baby.
episode.
We're all going to be looking at his eyes.
Every
now
once in
through
a while,
the
I'm
whole
going to
thing.
stare at the Invisible Man.
All right,
dog.
shut up. I want to end this. Let's get going. Runners up.
Did anybody have any? runners
Yeah,
up?
I got a color purple, the Harry Potter series.
Oh, that was a pretty controversial.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Outsiders, The Da Vinci Code, Interview with the Vampire, and Perfume: The Story of a Murderer was a book first. It's a lesser known movie, but it's really, really good.
I know Perfume. I read that
You s-
for a class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grenouille.
Did you see the movie?
I know.
It's good. You'd like it.
But I
You'd like it.
remember Grenouille. And I remember saying Grenouille. It's a fun word.
Yeah.
It's actually
Like garbage.
pronounced garbage.
Yeah, it's pronounced garbage. I beat you to it. Tito.
Brian, do you have runners
I
up?
just had one in case anybody else picked Clockwork Orange. I have Planet of the Apes by Pierre Buell.
Oh, no kidding.
Nice.
That was controversial, was it?
Sure was.
Okay, I did not know
A
that.
planet where apes evolved from men?
I think that's hilarious. People got upset at that? People have to lighten up.
People
get
get upset.
upset
Even
about
back then,
evolution.
people got
Right.
upset.
Oh, I get you. Oh, it went that route. Okay.
That still
Right,
goes
I
that
dig it.
route.
Mhm.
Imagine
It does.
that. After all
Imagine.
these years,
I know.
it still goes that way.
I know. We still have that, and we still have
Garbies.
Mario and
Luigi.
You know, he's not saying it's a me, Mario. He's saying itsumi, which is Japanese for something I can't remember.
I did not know
But
that.
he's not saying it's a me. He's saying
Itsumi Mario.
Itsumi Mario.
That's a load of crap.
You made that
I
up.
call
He's
bullshit.
saying Super Mario.
It's a me, Mario.
But
That's the way to
Itsumi
get
is
out
Why
of
do
it.
we say Super Mario?
He
Super
says,
Mario. Why would
"Itsumi."
you see that?
And then he says
No.
Mario.
Why would he say that, though?
Look it up. I don't know, because it was created by Japanese people.
No.
Imagine that. That was
Well, yeah, but it
that
wasn't
was
voiced by a
Japan's
Japanese
idea
guy. It was
of what
your thing
Italians
tonight,
are.
huh? Imagine that. That's
Imagine
what
that.
we're going with.
Imagine that.
No runners up for you, right?
What do you got,
No,
Tito?
no, fuck books.
Mark, you had
I did. I had Junkie and Naked Lunch, both written by William S. Burroughs. I had Train Spotting, and I also had Clockwork Orange. And now that I think about it, I'm throwing Twilight on there. There's a lot of controversy with that. It's got people divided. Horror fans.
The books and the
What about Fight Club? Fight Club was based on a book. Was that controversial?
Yeah.
Have any of his other movies been made into anything?
Don't know.
books.
Because Choke, Haunted.
Choke was a movie with
Was it?
Sam Rockwell. Isn't Sam Rockwell in Choke?
Oh, I think you're right. And
That was a book?
I'm assuming, but yeah, that was one of his books, the Fight Club guy. All right.
Fight Club guy.
All right, awesome appetizers, everybody.
Totally.
Way to go. Time for the main course.
Maybe I will.
Main course.
Maybe I will.
Maybe I will.
Go. I'm going.
All right, I'm
Go
going.
then.
Maybe I will.
All right, here we go.
Jean,
Yes, Patrick?
would you like to accompany me to dinner? That is, if you're not doing anything.
No, I don't have any plans.
Listen, where should we go?
Anywhere you want.
Anywhere you want. Just say it. I can get us in anywhere.
What about Dorsia?
So, Dorsia is where Jean wants to go.
Oh, I don't know. No, we'll go in wherever you want to go.
Dorsia is fine.
Dorsia, yes?
Yeah, can you take 2 tonight at, well, let's say 9 o'clock?
We're totally booked.
Really? That's great.
No, I said we are totally booked.
2 at 9? Perfect. See you then.
You like American Psycho starring Christian Bale? His later work was a little too shitty for my taste. Too much growling, sore throat Batman voice and yelling at poor, defenseless crew members who walk onto his set. But when American Psycho came out in 2000, I think he really hit the nail on the head with this amazing performance. The whole movie is a clear, crisp horror comedy story blending yuppie upper society with traditional homicidal madmen. It's been compared to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, but I think American Psycho has more of Man Bites Dog by Remy Bellevue or Fritz Lang's M's more cynical sense of humor. In American Psycho, it's Bale's undisputed masterpiece, a performance so thrilling that people don't often see the problematic ending that had some audiences praising it almost artsy twist while others just scratched their heads and felt gypped. Either way, the movie, much like the book, remains controversial, and it should, because it's not just about the pleasures we get from watching Bale run around nude in perfect male physique waving a chainsaw while chasing a hooker and the importance of watching him eat the most minuscule portions of French cuisine. It's also a personal statement about the director herself and how Mary Herron crafts a satire of the sickness that lies in the heads of the most handsome, seemingly adjustable upperclassmen. Hey, guys! Opening thoughts?
Woo! The best opening we've ever done.
Yes.
Hands down.
That hurt. Thank
The
you.
best.
You all right?
Yeah,
Take a
that
breath.
hurt.
Take a breath.
That was very good.
That's what, I'm looking at you and I'm going to, I'm like, he's got to breathe. He's got to breathe.
It's getting redder and redder and redder.
Another reason I wanted you to go first tonight, Derek.
He's like a tick about to pop.
Woo! I had to do push-ups.
How do we follow that?
I know, jeez.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, now go first, Derek.
Beverly
No,
Hills
I'm
311.
just saying, that was very for all of us. That's a tough follow-up.
It is a tough follow-up.
Opening thoughts.
Well, I've got some words, so
Say it fast.
You got to say him like Christian Bale now.
So this is my pick, and it's been a while since I've seen it. So I finally rewatched it this last night, but leading up to watching it, I really wasn't in the mood to. I was almost dreading it because I knew I had to, and Tuesdays I work 8 to 8 and was telling my coworker last night how I wasn't looking forward to watching it. But I forgot how enthralling this movie is. I normally play a game in the office while I watch on my iPad. My mind going a mile a minute and overstimulated, but I sat there last night for the entire hour and 41 minutes watching and just eating it up. We'll get into
Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Good thing I didn't try to do it all in one. We'll get into why I feel this way about it as we go through the categories. But yeah, I honestly think this movie should be shown in film classes, sociology classes, female studies, psychology classes. It's such a great satirical look at the consumerism and yuppie culture of the 80s that's still prevalent in a lot of ways 24 years after its original release in 2000.
Very nice.
Yeah,
well said.
I
Well
really,
said.
really like this movie.
You like this
I
movie,
forgot
man. I
about
feel
it.
bad now. Jesus.
Don't lie, you don't feel bad.
You know what I got from that?
I got to change my whole thing.
You know what I got from that? That up until this point, you haven't been actually watching any of the shit you're supposed to be watching.
You are so busted.
That is true. you admitted that.
Normally,
And now it's time for Tito's takeaway.
Normally, I barely pay attention. But this time...
No, because most of the stuff we're
always
there's a good amount of things that we've done.
seen so many times.
Right.
It's just kind of refreshing.
Right. If it's something that I've never seen, like because you guys have brought a lot of movies to me that I've never seen and that I've really enjoyed. I pay attention to those.
Yeah.
So no wonder you didn't like Hard Target, and no wonder you didn't like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or Phantasm, because you weren't really watching it, were you?
Yes,
no,
I was.
sir. Had your video
All movies that I hadn't
games
seen,
going.
so I paid attention.
I liked it.
Get it away from me.
Take it off of me. He liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it.
I liked
Give it to
very
Brian.
much.
Brian will like anything.
So, like you, I think you said you only saw this once before and a long time ago.
I saw it twice, but like way back when it came. I mean, 2000. So
same with me.
Long time
I saw it a few years after it came out, but I only saw this movie once before, and I really remember liking it. But after watching it again the other night, I was a little confused because I didn't remember it being such a commentary on, like you said, capitalism, consumerism, and the aching need to fit in amongst a horde of people who are so exactly the same. That the only thing that's different on all their business cards that they obsess over are their freaking names. And even then, everyone is so much alike, no one can tell any of them apart because they all get confused about everybody's names. I was wondering, is this a game that they're playing by calling themselves by different names, or are they all so similar that no one really knows who anyone is anymore? And even after the ATM machine asked them to kill the kitten, and that's when I'm like, all right, everything,
the fever dream
everything
starts.
that follows after that, that's when it's all in his head. The shootout with the cops and all that, it's so over the top that it has to be in his head, which makes me wonder, was everything in his head, like even before that scene? I still like it, but not just for all the sex, killing, and gore. I like all the layers now that I've discovered this time watching it. I like the subtle commentary on Patrick's little microcosm of society.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
deep. These are deep.
Well, it was a deep movie that I remember it being.
Wow.
Right.
I like it.
Good, Tito. How do you?
That's what I said first.
yeah.
I wasn't going to go into my diet.
I like pie.
I think I saw this
I
movie
like the Tin Man.
twice in the theaters, and then I probably watched it a million fucking times in like the next year or two, let's say, where I thought this was a phenomenal movie. It was 2000. I was like 18, 19 years old, so I was in like I'm gonna be a fucking pre-cinephile, right? Before that was a term.
Oh, I thought
was gonna be
you were
like,
gonna
because
say
I always loved
serial
movies,
killer.
but I was like, no, I'm expanding.
Well, and
my
everybody was always
horizons.
doing like impressions of him, and
Yeah, right. And, I was going to the Avon a lot and seeing a lot of independent films. And this was, a major release, but absolutely loving it and laughing hysterically when I first saw this movie. I still laugh this time, but not as much as a 41-year-old man. I see it a little bit different. And some of the stuff is a little more cringy for me. Yeah. But the good stuff is really good. And Christian Bale's fucking... I forgot how good he is in this movie. He's so good that it made me kind of re-like him again. There's I haven't been interested in a Christian Bale movie probably since. this.
Agreed.
And
Same
Newsies.
Right.
Newsies is the only Christian Bale movie I still watch.
Was he crutchy?
No, he's the kid with the hat from Santa Fe. I can't remember his name.
he's the main kid.
He's the main kid.
Is he? I
Josh,
never
it's
saw
Josh
Newsies.
Baskins, young Josh Baskins, and then him. I love that movie.
The movie's god awful.
Never fair.
But the music, Mark, is fantastic.
Go to hell, Derek.
Right? Especially when played by a marching
Go
band.
to hell, Derek, or you're
Bill
getting an axe
Pullman?
in your head. You'll be my Paul Allen.
We love you, Mrs. Brayton.
Oh,
Great
so
movie,
awful,
though. This is
so
a great
awful.
movie.
Open the gates and seize the day.
Oh,
you
so
fucking
good.
deliver
Stop it, because I'll start
newspapers.
dancing.
Dial it back a bit,
It's
people.
a commentary on on child labor.
It's
Kids were out here trying
garbage.
to live.
Oh, it's so bad.
It
Go
was
to
what?
hell, Newsies.
Garbage?
It was
Garbage.
garbage. It was garbage. Newsies was garbage. Newsies.
So good. So good.
But
What do you think, Mark?
unlike Newsies, Tito, I do agree with you. Watching this now, there are parts of it that I remember liking more when I was a kid, and a lot of it now. Mostly how he treats his secretary there. I don't like watching anymore. It's cringy
that was
now.
very cringy.
And a lot of just how he treats women in general is it's not cool like it never was. But when you see it when you're younger, you don't think of it. You think, oh, is he gonna kill her? Is he not gonna kill her? What's gonna happen? Seeing it now, you're like, oh, this is kind of. But having said that, like the good parts are really good. This is a really good movie. I like it. I've got some qualms with it, and I'll get to it when we do the categories. But I do think Christian Bale is the shit in this movie. I fell in love with him after seeing this movie, and it's really sad because I really despise him in the eyes. Well, he could have, but he yelled at me walking on his set. Oh, good for you!
Tra la 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 la.
Yeah, and that killed him. Killed it for me.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, I thought he was fine in the first Batman movie, Batman Begins. I thought was great, but then once it just got off the ground, I just couldn't do it. But this movie,
you know what? American Hustle, I did like.
Yeah, American Hustle was good.
But I only saw that once.
I can't really think of anything else.
He's awesome in The Fighter. He's so good in that.
I never saw The Fighter.
But I didn't like The Machinist.
Yeah, I didn't
really like him in The Prestige.
Public Enemies didn't do
Hugh
anything
Jackman was
for
good.
me.
Public Enemies, is that the Johnny
Public
Depp
Enemies
one?
is him and Johnny Depp. I
never saw
couldn't get
that.
into it. It's kind of
Mann,
weird.
too.
Yeah, I know, and I like Michael Mann stuff.
me too.
But that was it. After this movie, his stuff just was kind of okay, and then after his little meltdown, I was like, I can't look at you the same way anymore, man. You
did it for a lot of people.
Yeah. They say separate the guy from the art, but
sometimes it's tough.
Sometimes you can't do it. Yeah. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Especially when there's like documented video
But
or audio.
Yeah. It's not like a rumor, right? But I'll still watch American Psycho, just like I'll still watch Usual Suspects, despite Kevin Spacey. If it's a good movie, it's a really good movie. I'll still watch it.
True. That's a thin line right there.
That is the thin line.
Fucking touching 13-year-olds and screaming at a guy.
For
talking.
That's true. That's true. I guess I could have found a better. Yeah.
More common ground there.
Yeah. Good call. Good call. Although he could, you never know.
I still watch Usual Suspects too.
LA Confidential, you know.
Oh, I love that movie.
Well,
still.
I don't know what else. Who else went? Oh, Will Smith, maybe. Should I
that's
compare
a
Will?
good comparison.
Yeah, but I didn't like him before he slapped Chris Rock.
See, I did.
No, I never.
Slapping
I
Chris
too.
Rock and yelling at a crewman is on par.
I would say so.
Okay, good.
It's closer, I think.
All right.
That shit's heinous.
Well, thank you for making me out to be a douche.
No, I just thought
you
that
know,
was. I thought it was
appreciate
funny. I thought it was kind of funny. I was actually hoping you might go that way and pick somebody like.
You know
compare
me
it to,
too
like,
well.
Hitler.
Roman Polanski. Yeah.
I was going to go Roman Polanski. I almost did. Because Chinatown is one of my favorite films, and I still have. But this, you know what?
very
This
good.
has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Let's get into categories.
Yeah.
All right.
Derek,
Oh wait,
let's
Derek.
go.
Yeah, Derek. You
Yeah.
went right. You went first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Right.
doing
Okay. Because we're
Derek's
going
first
back. Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Derek, you got any favorite scenes?
I got lots of favorite scenes. I mean, the movie is great. Like pretty much every scene's great, but the mask scene in the beginning, him peeling that mask off, and meanwhile he's explaining the mask he wears.
His whole routine.
Right. Which
So
is
good.
and like he's wearing it's a mask. Like he's not really the way that he's presenting himself to other people. It's very akin to the Batman Bruce Wayne thing. So kind of foreshadowing, him someday playing that.
Except you can understand them.
Yeah, the whole beginning showing the world that these Wall Street guys and how they don't really do any work, and how shallow they are. It just immediately sets the scene for the world that we're where it all takes place. I love the business card scene, which most people like always go back to and talk about. Like that's one of the things that people remember from this movie because it's kind of funny and again just shows how shallow these guys are.
Oh yeah.
But Bale in the scene, like the sweat, which I guess Josh Lucas had said in an interview that he was amazed because Bale they did a bunch of takes and Bale sweated on command. Like he made himself sweat.
Yeah.
And
he was talking about the body control this guy has.
Right. And
So
it
was
like
amazing.
and he would do it at the very same time each take, like which is amazing. Like
Dude's a mutant.
the scene in the bathroom where he's going to kill Lewis, but Lewis thinks he's coming onto him, and it catches Bateman off guard. Well, and the reason why I love this scene is because as he's rushing away, he washes his hands, but he's wearing the gloves.
He's wearing gloves still. Yeah.
So it's like he's trying to get the gay off the gloves, not his actual hands. And then the finale, like that, like I said, it's a fever dream style. Like he finally loses it, and he's running amok. He's killing people left and right, just randomly. The thing with the police car blowing up, and then he looks at the gun.
Yeah, awesome.
You know, and the voicemails that he leaves for the lawyer and for Jean, the secretary, just
so good.
Like a really good climax finale. So those are my big ones.
Yeah. I got the obviously the scene where he kills Paul Allen.
Yep.
That's a great
Right.
scene. The whole diatribe about Huey Lewis,
Uh-huh.
and he's putting on the raincoat.
Is that a raincoat?
Is that a raincoat? Yes.
Yes, it is, Paul. It is.
It's with a dog.
Hey,
you got a dog.
Yeah, you got a little dog.
Got
You
a
got the
little
society
dog.
pages all over the floor. No, it's just a
The walk
brilliant
that he
scene.
does,
Right.
he like shimmies.
Oh my God, I
with
love
the
that.
jacket on.
Yeah, he's like
Nah, he grabs
kind
the
of
axe,
moonwalking
rests it
backwards.
against the wall.
Yeah, it's perfectly done.
The moonwalk was
Yeah.
He
Improvised
that.
yeah.
Yep.
I almost said the credit card scene, but the business card scene. That's great.
Yeah.
One of the things that I didn't notice, but I looked at online, but everybody's got the same typo
yeah.
on their card where acquisitions is spelled wrong.
Yeah, Pearson Pierce
really?
mergers and acquisitions. The
I did not
acquisitions
know
is
that.
spelled wrong. It doesn't have a C.
All of them are spelled wrong.
All of
Right.
them.
Every single one.
Everybody's card is exactly the same except for the name, right down to the typo.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and nobody notices. They're just more concerned about the style.
Whether it's like eggshell or off-white. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Or
Raised
the
lettering.
color,
This even has
raised
a
lettering.
watermark.
Yeah, it even has a watermark.
That's what brings the sweat.
my
Is the
God,
watermark.
that's a watermark.
No,
Same.
great stuff.
Patrick's morning routine. I love that, how he's going through his day and what that looks like, and him peeling the mask off and just this fucking sinister face that he has. He looks like a terrible person. The scene where they're comparing cards, and scene where Jared Leto gets killed, the hip to be square, the music playing, how he's describing the music. All those scenes really where he's talking about the music, I absolutely love. And the phone confession, I think, is fucking hysterical. I think it's my favorite scene of the whole movie. It's just funny. It's just fucking hilarious.
Right.
It's fucking hilarious. And the way, I didn't know he could sweat on command. He's sweating profusely
yeah.
throughout this entire movie.
Right.
And it's creeps me out, but
Yeah.
it's so effective. And nobody really talks about it during the film, how sweaty he is. They just kind of, that's what Patrick does.
He's
He
like
sweats.
glistening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. When he's freaking out,
Yeah.
he's just sweating when he's talking. Yeah.
The phone call thing. So all the stuff that he mentions is actually stuff that happened in the book.
Oh, interesting.
So it's stuff that they didn't include in the movie, but like,
that's cool.
like the ex-girlfriend, I forget her name, but he mentions her, and I forget what else. The gay guy with the dog,
Yeah.
like same thing.
From the book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's.
I haven't read the book, but I read up about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I ever want to read the book.
There's still time.
I kind of do.
Go for it.
Same thing. The comparing of the business cards, the killing of Paul Allen, and no one's mentioned this yet, but the back and forth between Christian Bale and Willem Dafoe.
Absolutely.
Any scenes with them. It
True.
goes back to the Arbogast, Anthony Perkins
Yep.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah,
scenes
yeah.
we talked about in Psycho.
compared to
And
Psycho,
And I love when Defoe plays a cop. Like
well, it's weird because for once the guy who should be the creepy guy is not the creepy guy, and the guy who should be the good guy is the bad guy. And Willem Dafoe, crazy as it is, I find him creepier when he's the good guy. I find him
Yeah.
creepy in this movie. The way he
really? I
talks, the
don't.
way he knows what's going on. There's something.
But the way he talks, it's almost like he's
sinister.
believing Patrick Bateman.
Is he though?
Right.
That's what I'm
Is
saying.
he? Because
or is he goading him into
I
saying
feel
even
like
more?
he's mind screwing him, and he's
I
got
would
that
like to hope
green
that's the
goblin look on his face when he's doing. I don't know. I think when he's a nice guy, I think when Willem Dafoe is a good guy, he's scarier.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because you expect him to
Yeah,
change at any moment because he's just so good at being so bad. It's like he can't be good. But yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
find him
Boondock
to be
Saints?
It
good.
was a firefight.
by some huge freaking guy.
Freaking God. We got a serial crusher theory.
Next.
What, do you really expect one guy with 12 guns over here? Great scene.
What doesn't work for you?
Evelyn Williams, the fiance played by Reese Witherspoon. Not so much her, the character, and her performance. She plays it right. She's a yuppie woman, so it works. But the limo scene, So he's listening to the Walkman. He's listening to the new Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
And she's just going on and on about the wedding, about wanting to do a wedding. And she says something about her father practically owning the company, and it bugs the shit out of me. Because Bateman is not the biggest guy in the room. It's Paul Allen. Like amongst these all these vice presidents, which back then, I've worked for places that had a bunch of vice presidents and they didn't do shit. So I know
It's
how
like
that
Office
is.
Space.
Right.
I've got 12 bosses, Bob.
I just feel like if you were engaged to someone as important as her, you'd be the Paul Allen. Like they would want to kiss your ass.
Yeah, he could be the Fredo though. He could just be the son that has
He
a
could
job,
be Fredo, yeah.
and he makes a lot of money. But Paul Allen's the one that's
I'm
actually
supposed to
making,
be looking after you,
making-
Mikey.
Yeah, he's the one that's making all the money.
Kiss
him right on his mouth.
But still, even being a Fredo, like I love how everyone's always confusing each other, but I don't think they would have confused
They
him.
shouldn't.
Right.
If he's the boss's kid, they should absolutely know who he is.
So, and I also don't like the fact that there's certain people that you would think someone like him, who's just killing all these people, he would kill these people right away, or somehow end up. He kills all these random people, but the only one who he hates that he actually offs is Paul Allen. He leaves Evelyn alone. He just breaks up with her. He could have killed Courtney, who I would have been totally embarrassed to be with in the restaurant, like when she's falling asleep at the table.
Oh, Samantha Mathis.
Like wicked bad.
Oh, Princess Daisy.
Yeah.
Daisy. And even going back to Louis, Louis. Or whatever, yeah. Like he could have found another time and place to kill him, but he doesn't kill any of those people. And then he goes and kills this Elizabeth, who's some friend. Like he says that she's a friend, and they are in similar circles, and he kills her. He didn't really seem to have any animosity at her, and so I don't really like that he didn't kill the people that really deserve to be killed.
In those cases, I always took it as like the Justin Theroux character. Is it Josh Lucas? Right, that's the actor's name.
There's Josh Lucas.
Josh Lucas is the blonde one.
Yeah.
And then Justin Theroux is the one. Justin Theroux is the
Yeah.
one. He's Bryce. He's the one that he's the only one that he has any respect for. or
Well,
whatever.
that's I
He's
just
the
couldn't
cokehead,
remember the
right?
name of the
He's the
actor.
cokehead. Yeah.
Josh
Well,
Lucas.
they're all
I was
cokeheads, I'm
wondering
sure,
if it was
but-
John Lucas, but it's Josh Lucas.
Yeah.
Josh.
Those guys, I feel like, serve a purpose for him and wanting to fit in. So he talks about those characters as having enough influence to keep them around for him to have influence. Where I think if he can get Paul Allen to really spend time with him, he may not kill him. I think if he can get those reservations at
Dorsey.
then he serves a purpose. Dorsia. Then he serves a purpose for him. Where the rest of the group, everyone he kills seems like a throwaway to me. Right.
Except for Paul Allen, yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, they're all exactly the same.
Right.
They're
They're all
all
the
really
same.
the same person.
Yeah.
So it's funny that he picks out Paul Allen. Is it just because of
It's
his,
very strange. Like
his business card?
Yeah, he puts a lot of effort into, I feel, knowing all of these people, like of the group. And Justin Theroux and Josh Lucas, clearly they all know who he is.
Right.
So that probably makes him feel a little bit better because Paul Allen doesn't know who the fuck this guy is.
Right.
Even his own lawyer doesn't know.
Marcus Helberberger.
Yeah.
Even his lawyer doesn't know who
Helgenberger?
he is. Like people don't know who he is, and these guys do. So
Right.
I think it helps feed his ego at least in the fitting in process. What doesn't work for you? Is that all that doesn't work?
That's
for
it,
you?
yeah.
What about you?
What doesn't work for me? All the shallow, self-centered yuppies. I would love to see Patrick kill them all.
Right.
Yeah, because they really they played it perfectly.
Yeah.
They were, like I said in my intro earlier, they were shallow and vapid and self-centered, and
People were really like that.
and
They
still
still
are.
are.
Still
Yeah.
are. So yeah, thank God I'm not traveling in those circles.
So what doesn't work for me? I don't know if I thought it was cool when I was younger. That threesome, where he's like making muscles.
Yeah.
I used
yeah.
to think was fucking hysterical.
Right.
Because it was so dumb. Now I watch it, I'm like, you know what? I don't even know if I need that scene.
Yeah.
Like, or if I need to see it. I could just see the after effect of
You've
it.
matured, Tito. You've
Yeah,
matured.
possibly. It just wasn't. It just didn't hit for me. I get how it is effective. The scene is effective. You know, this guy's a sociopath. But yeah, I remember I saw this in the theaters and I thought, this is fucking hysterical. This guy's making a muscle in the fucking mirror. What a loser.
Yep.
Well, but he's not being violent with them.
He's not being violent, but
He's like, and even with the other two, like when the other one comes back and it's
Christy.
her and Elizabeth,
Yeah.
like they have sex under the sheet. They're like, it's sex. They're being intimate, but
Yeah.
like it's just the aftermath. Like then all of a sudden he gets violent and So I think you kind of need that contrast to see, to show him like, and how he lures them in, and
You need it for the
it's funny. You
chainsaw
could see
scene,
it's
which is
the
the
money.
scene I forgot to mention is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I do think it's hilarious watching a naked man in sneakers running
Oh,
around with a chainsaw.
what doesn't work for me is Christian Bale walking around in bright white sneakers with
You've
no
got
clothes on.
to
I
have that.
fucking
You
hate it.
absolutely have to have that. Hysterical.
I can't disagree, but I still
just fits
hate
that
the look of
character.
it. It does,
Yeah.
absolutely. Those big fucking white sneakers.
And no one wakes up and opens doors.
Yeah.
And, like when at the sound of a chainsaw and a woman screaming and knocking.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is this all in his head?
Well,
Right.
yeah, that's
You know?
the thing. And, well, this is going to lead to my problem.
So they used to mind. Oh, they just minded their business back then.
I don't think so. It's New York.
Yeah, everybody's minded their business in New York.
We
You
just
walk
did a
around,
movie that was set in the 80s where they
could've-
didn't mind their business.
Somebody walking by could have easily been like, guys, don't get in that fucking rickshaw. He's going to charge you an arm and a leg to get to where you need to go. They just kept on walking.
Guys, stay away from that dude selling his mixtape.
Yeah.
Hey,
They just
New
kept
York.
on walking.
Don't go that way.
Hey, it's New York.
Don't ever
I
go
wanna
that
take
way.
it to
It's
Broadway
New
show.
York, eh? I'm taking good to a Broadway show.
show. And then the other thing is the idea of someone biting a vagina is just terrifying to me.
Don't
She
just
goes
stare
down
at
on that
it, eat
girl,
it.
and the sheet starts to bleed.
I
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because then
fucking-
he pops up and his face is all
It's
bloody.
just fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that in any movie,
No.
simulated or otherwise.
Yeah.
Every time I see that scene, even when I was younger, I was, oh, you can't do that.
I don't think Cronenberg ever did that, and that's
Dude,
saying
yeah.
something.
He would have just made it into
He
a
would've made it
VHS
into a VHS
cassette tape player and just been like,
It would have been a copy. It would have been a
I
copy.
got to return some videotape.
I got to return to
And it would have been a copy of Christian Bale's rant that you saw. Yeah. it would've been that.
Have you ever seen Videodrome?
No.
Oh, wait till we get to my bit. Oh, I'm gonna make that.
Are there actually vaginas? that
Oh,
are
there is.
videos?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I thought you were just making this shit up.
There's
No,
vaginas
there's
all over the place in that movie.
Yeah, and the videotapes go in. And
You're
they
gonna love
play
that
things.
movie.
It's
Okay.
great.
You're gonna
not.
thank
You know
me.
what? You're not.
You're gonna thank me for showing you Videodrome.
Thanks
You
for being
might
honest,
like
Tito.
Videodrome 3, but you probably won't like part 1.
Just when you thought he was helping you, huh?
You definitely won't like that movie, though.
Just when I thought I was safe, he pulls me back in.
Yeah, that's it.
Godfather
That's
3.
See? It's all going back.
Ass.
But that's all. That's all that doesn't work for me. I don't. You won't. I don't think you'll like Videodrome.
I don't think
You should watch
No,
it.
you
though.
might. You might.
You should see it.
You might because we did the Cable 8 days, so you'll get a kick out of some of it. Faux show. You get to see James Woods' ass. What's not to love? Nothing, huh?
Nothing at all. No.
Jesus, I leave it open for you guys to say
Ew,
something.
don't say that.
Get to see Blondie naked. You like Debbie Harry? Back in the
Back
day.
then,
yeah.
not now,
You
yeah,
get to
God.
see. You get to see some Debbie Harry.
Oh, that's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's nice.
A heart of glass.
It's not going to save it, Mark, but
Well,
okay.
it's gonna see. Trust me. Have I ever led you astray? Don't answer that. All right.
Anything else that doesn't work for you, Tito?
That's all.
Mark.
All right, so I'm with this movie up until the twist ending. I hate the twist ending. I hated it then, and I hate it now. I would rather have this just him going from creepy to stalker to psycho to over the top, bang, bang, cops explode. I feel like they went in that direction, and whatever whether it was true or not, whether they intended, feels like a cop-out to me. Felt it then. I rewatched it because when I saw it the first time, I thought, maybe I didn't give it a chance. After watching it again and loving every minute of that film, it's like Brian says, the whole is it in his head or not? Could have done without it. I love this movie, but I hate the twist. I feel like it's like, I don't like that in any movie. Very rarely does that movie work for me. There's a great movie, and I'll still recommend it in the category, if you like this, watch this, High Tension, that does the same thing.
The French movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it was
where it
her
was her the
all
whole
along. It was
time?
on her
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
I feel like that is the biggest cop-out ending.
She was chasing herself this entire time.
Like, how
that
does
doesn't
that
make any
work?
fucking
and
sense.
there's parts of
Yeah.
this movie knowing
I've never
what
seen it.
you
So I guess
know.
I don't have to now.
Oh, sorry. You'll forget. You're
You're gonna
forget.
You're never gonna
Tito's
watch
like, you're
this
old. You won't
movie.
remember
You're
this.
not gonna
You'll
watch
forget.
this
High
movie.
Tension?
High Tension.
Oh, yeah.
That French film?
I don't like it. It's a trope I just don't like. And again, what Brian brought up, I feel like, this whole is it real, isn't it real? I would have much rather it have just been real. I'd rather see a psychotic Wall Street guy with this great performance who had actually done everything he did. And how the hell could you possibly get away with
Scot-free,
that
yeah.
ending? Because the phone call, the exploding car, everything was so good. And I remember being in the theater thinking, how the hell is he going to get out of this? This is going to be incredible. How is he going to pull this off? Because he's been so careful. He's been so good. It's all coming apart. Oh, it was all in your head. No. Sorry,
they went
I'm
with
not
the
buying
A24
it.
ending.
So I like to think that it was. I like to think that he got away with it. That it wasn't in his head at all.
Or that
that's how I.
Or that part.
But you don't know. It's like Brian said. How much of it is real?
But that's the point. And
I don't like it.
Apparently the book was very much the same, where it was like
I didn't read the book.
Ambiguous.
Yeah. So I won't go with that.
I agree that I think certain things about that scene pushed the need, and I actually put this in for my better ending, but I'll say it now.
You can say it again.
It kind of pushes the needle more towards the it's in his head side than leaving it in the middle where like people are unsure because of how crazy it is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, he's losing his mind more and more throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And so this is his breaking point. So I kind of, even if you wanted to say that it's not like the rest of the movie's not in his head, like he actually killed the people, maybe just like some of the stuff in the scene is embellished. You gotta remember he's also he's the narrator. He's the one kind of
yeah.
You know. So it's like this movie is very like reminds me a lot of the Joker, where at the end of the Joker, where you're like, was it in his head? Like did he is he?
Was Zazie Beetz
right?
Did he really? Did
I have
Beetz?
that as like one of my
right.
similar
And
to this.
he, so that whole idea that like, you can't really trust the narrator when a guy like the Joker or Patrick Bateman are the narrator.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting point, and I'll give you that. But just being a fan of these kind of films, I feel like I get shortchanged. Yeah.
So
there's no other way to say it. It's like, you made a great point about it. You can justify liking the ending. I'm not going to think you're wrong for liking it. I won't think anybody's wrong for liking it. But for me personally, I'm just like, it's a cop-out. It felt like a cop-out because it just led to this amazing, like, Armageddon-esque, just everything is going nuts. And then it's just like, it does this total 180 where you're like, wait a minute, no. It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't.
So where I like the idea that I get to decide, I think it hits the point home for me that he did fit in. Ultimately, he fit in so much that nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He just disappeared into the group. He's just a nameless face. So when you get to the end and you're like, oh, he got away with it, and it's like, well, that makes sense. Nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he truly fit in, and disappeared right into the background. So for me, I could absolutely
there's no wrong answer.
When I originally saw the movie, I was like, oh, that was all in his head. What the fuck? I don't like it as much. I thought right up until the end, the whole movie is phenomenal too. As I watched it most recently, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like that. I like it a little bit more thinking that he got away with it than I do thinking it was all in his head. Like, I don't think that works at all for me.
All right, fair enough. Good points, guys.
Does anything work for you, Derek?
The ending.
Bring it on.
Everything Mark said is the opposite.
No, Bale's performance is out of this world. We've said it already. I usually don't like him. I usually roll my eyes at the reports of his method acting and but he's so believable in this role. He's just amazing. I love how no one knows who anyone really is. I love that whole idea of everyone's a carbon copy of each other and they all mistake each other for other people.
Well, that's why I was starting to wonder if they were playing a game, like,
yeah,
hey, I'm going to call you Tito today.
Well, and like the thing is that it makes, for other people and as the audience, it makes you wonder if like, is Jared Leto even the real Alan, or was he also mistaken and people just and he's because
the lawyer at the end says I was just in London with him. It's like, well,
we had
then who
dinner
did
twice.
I kill? Yeah, exactly.
Well, who's alive and who isn't? He names all the women that he brings to his apartment. Your name's gonna be Sabrina, like
Yeah.
Or if Bale is actually Bateman, like all of it, just they are all the ambiguity of whether or not it's all in his mind. I love it. I love and like I said, that ending kind of does push the limit a little bit and makes it a little bit more, makes the case for it being in his head, which is unfortunate. But I still like that scene. And I love the social commentary on how people are so shallow because it's so true for today. The unfortunate thing is that people that are like that see these movies and they don't realize that they're being satirized. Is that
Yep.
And it also plays to a it also plays to a point that good-looking people can get away with anything. It almost would have been better if he just got away with it because he was considered this like rich, good-looking guy. That would have been a more kick in the balls kind of ending. Of course, he's going to get away with it. Look at him. Look at how he lives, where he lives, how he dresses.
The scene where he comes in during that fever dream, he goes to Alan's apartment, and there's no bodies, and he's shocked, and he's in there. In the
real estate agent's there.
Yeah.
The way that the agent plays it, I remember seeing it and just thinking like, oh, it really is pushing the idea that it's in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then I read a theory online before I rewatched the movie this time, and there's people that think that she's just as bad as the yuppies, that she's this real estate agent, that it's New York real estate. She wants to sell this place because her commission's going to be used.
It up and
so they cleared up all the murders. She knows what he did because she does that trick with the, it was, did you see in the Times, the ad in the Times?
Oh, yeah. There was no ad in the Times.
But the way that she plays it off, I can totally see how people theorize that because she does kind of, the way that she delivers the lines.
Yeah.
Really does make it seem like she's just as bad. And she covered it up.
She's the Patrick Bateman of the real estate circuit.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
She just
that's cool.
I assume that she that something heinous did happen there, and she's just like, oh, you know what happened here. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know.
I got some people coming to look at the place, and I really want to.
I would think that, but then the fact is that she confronts him. Where she confronts him is where he's looking at the closet, and the closet has a ladder and some paint, and it's all done up, but that closet had two dead bodies in bags.
Yeah.
So she if that's the case, she knows that he knows what was in that closet.
Yeah.
And I just fucking love that. I think that's genius, and it was just really well done.
It's excellent.
That's what works for me.
Boom.
Yeah.
Bye.
No, I'm not going as deep as Derek.
Sorry.
No. I'm just going to say I like Bale's acting. I forgot how good he was in this movie. So that's what works for me. He just totally sells this.
Yeah, I got Bale on here too.
Yeah, this movie rests on his shoulders, man. He carries the whole thing.
This performance is phenomenal. I like New York as a setting for this movie, especially New York in the 80s, where no matter what part of New York you're going to, like they're going to this very hip club that is in an alley. Right?
Yeah.
So there's homeless people there, and
it's always too far. Isn't that a little far?
Isn't that a little far? Yeah. But I just love New York. Like those nightclubs aren't just those guys. They're actually cool people in those nightclubs. They just want to be a part of that. It's like The Last Days of Disco. You ever see that movie?
With Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah, right. Where it's a bunch of like young yuppie New Yorkers who want to go to all these fancy clubs, but they're actually not that cool, these people. But they do everything they can to get into them because it's some kind of status symbol. So I love that. I really like the way Patrick Bateman's character shuts his friends down when Josh Lucas makes the comment about the guy being Jewish.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Can
we a little less anti-Semitism?
Dude, it makes me feel that he's actually genuine when he's discussing these topics because what reason does he have not to be?
Right.
Yeah. Like why would he have to defend anti-Semitism if it helps him fit in? Or even when he's talking about ending apartheid. And then the point where I was like, oh, he's totally for the cause was when the Willem Dafoe asked him if he likes Huey Lewis in the news, and he's like, no, he sounds too black. And I'm like, well, you're lying because you love Huey Lewis in the news. And I think it's because he sounds too black. And that's why you really like Huey Lewis. So you do love black people. So I don't know. It didn't make any sense for that stuff to be in the movie, but I really enjoyed that it was.
Well, he only the homeless guy. I was going to say, doesn't he only kill white people? But
no, he kills red. Yeah, he kills
the guy from MathNet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Square
tough
one.
Scene.
Square one.
That's a tough scene to watch.
Samantha Mathis. I'm gonna give a shout out to
Absolutely.
Samantha Mathis because I like to see her get work.
Yeah, same here.
Even if she's playing a drug and
she is. She's one of these underrated actresses.
I think she's really good in the movie too.
I've loved her ever since Pump Up the Volume.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which is featured in this movie, the song.
What?
Pump Up the Volume.
Oh, her last scene with him is so sad in this movie.
Yeah, but I think she's really, she's doing a really, might be, I think, and Reese Witherspoon is an amazing actress, but I think Samantha Mathis is probably given the best performance of one of the female characters in this movie. That's it.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you on that one.
Chloe Sevigny.
Well, other than
she's
Willem
good. She's
Dafoe,
fine.
even though he's not in it as much.
Yeah.
I mean, those are like two titans right there in a scene, and then you got
Of
the supporting
everybody,
cast
yes.
underneath, and
Yes.
then Samantha Mathis
Yeah.
for sure.
I was just thinking Chloe Sevigny, her
I
and
think
Reese
Chloe
Witherspoon.
Sevigny-
I think Samantha Mathis.
Chloe
is doing
Sevigny's
the
come a
best.
long way
Yeah.
from kids.
Yeah.
Not quite as
Chloe
not
Sevigny
quite
kind of
Rosario Dawson level, but
Right.
she managed to get a career out of out of it.
I think Chloe. I think she might have even acted Samantha Mathis.
You think so?
Yeah, I like the way
She is good in that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was like her one-on-one with.
I don't know. That's a tough call.
Patrick
actually.
Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great scene.
I
Yeah,
got a soft spot for Samantha Mathis.
yeah, I do too.
She's Princess Daisy. What are you gonna do?
And that.
Daisy, Luigi.
What works for you, Mark?
Luigi. Hate to say it, but Bale's performance, it carries this film. He is awesome in the movie, and the level of commitment he had to this part, from getting all his teeth capped to have that perfect white smile, to sweating on command, to training. That's dedication, man. I hate method acting. I hate people who method act. I think it's ridiculous. Get over yourself. But I mean, in this situation, it shows, and it makes what could have been a good movie a great movie. And
I can't imagine Leonardo DiCaprio in this.
I can't imagine anybody else.
Oh yeah, you're
doing
thinking
it.
like
he
who
was
was hot in
originally-
2000?
Well, no, he was
Oh, it
originally
supposed to be?
attached.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But his asking
it would
price
have been
was
a
too high.
It would have been a different performance, and I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I like this character that he plays, and again, going back to the problem I had with the ending, it doesn't leave much room for him to continue. He can't continue in another film. I'd like to see more of him. I would like to see him come back.
Mila Kunis did though.
She did.
She got to continue
And
in
she
another
doesn't
film.
even like the movie. I mean, I would love to see Mila Kunis naked with a chainsaw.
Well, and
don't get me wrong.
And the
but-
premise of that sequel it sounds good on paper. The idea, because it very similar social circles, a frat and a like yuppies on Wall Street. Very but poorly executed.
Just not executed
straight
right.
to
That
DVD.
often happens with
I
those
never saw
sequels.
it.
No, I think without Christian Bale, the movie just wouldn't work. I just think he makes the movie, and I think it would have just been an okay film. Although I'll give a shout out to Mary Herron in a second, but that's what works. Bale's performance, probably the only time you're gonna hear me say this.
You got some quotes over there?
I pulled a Tito. I got a lot.
You got a lot?
I got
Alright.
because it's just full of them. But there's an idea of Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there. I fucking love that. That's the mask that part. I like his whole routine thing in the beginning.
It's great.
So good. And then similar, I have all the characteristics of a human being: blood, flesh, skin, hair, but not a single clear, identifiable emotion, except for greed and disgust. I love that. What's that? Duct tape. I need it for taping something.
So that's where that line he says about greed and disgust, where it makes me think he keeps his friends around because of the greed aspect.
Right.
Where then even if when he's disgusted is when he's doing
Because
the
of his
killing.
friends as well.
Right.
Right, but he's got to take it out on somebody else that isn't going to benefit him.
Obviously, I have to return some videotapes.
That's mine.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane? I just love the delivery of that line. I'm leaving. I've assessed the situation and I'm going. I want to use that from now on. We'd just gone to the new musical called "Oh Africa, Brave Africa."
That's
it was a
on
laugh
mine
riot. And then this one,
Africa, brave Africa.
you're gonna have the peanut butter soup with smoked duck and mashed squash. New York Matinee called it a playful but mysterious little dish. You'll love it.
I'll start with the one that I was just trying to think of. The club patron, Patrick's with the club patron. Patrick says, ask me a question. Club patron says, so what do you do? I'm into, murders and executions mostly. Do you like it? Well, it depends. Why? Well, most guys I know who are in mergers and acquisitions really don't like it. A loud club. He says, I love that.
Right.
Murders and executions.
She is not judge, jury, executioner. That's what
She
it made
is
me
not
think.
judge,
I don't want to
jury,
be
and
judge, jury, and
executioner.
executioner. And then he says, the waiter goes to him, would you like to hear today's specials? Not if you want to keep your spleen.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the I have to return some videotapes. I love that.
Right.
Oh, it's so great. Just like a running gag throughout the movie. It's fucking hilarious.
Kind of like here. I got to go walk my dog.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to be on our podcast? I got to return some videotapes.
I wish he had said that.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
Would have been a lot cooler if he did.
Would have been a lot cooler if he did. And the whole part where he's talking about Huey Lewis.
Yep.
I'm just going to pick this little part out at the end because it fits so well to what I was saying earlier. When he says Huey Lewis released 4, their most accomplished album. I think their undisputed masterpiece is Hip to Be Square, a song so catchy. Most people probably don't listen to the lyrics, but they should listen to the lyrics because it's not just about the pleasures of conformity and the importance of trends. It's also a personal statement about the band itself. And I like that because he's saying that, I want to stand out, but, I want to be square. I want to conform with these people that I'm with, and it's, a square is an absolute nobody,
Yeah, right.
It's just such a cool little juxtaposition. I love it. And that whole diatribe, he mixes that little line in there, which kind of says so much about him and his little microcosm of a world. That's mine.
I got when he's talking to Samantha Mathis, Pumpkin, you're dating a
Oh,
tumbling dickweed. Oh my God, it even has a watermark. That's a good one.
Yep.
I got to return some videotapes. The fucking bastard. Africa, Brave Africa. And then this section of his conversation, the voicemail that he leaves, I killed another girl with a chainsaw. I had to. She almost got away. I think it's fucking hilarious. But those are mine.
And how he kills that girl is hysterical.
Kind of unrealistic, though.
The timing.
That's
he
fine.
times it out.
It's like
very
literally
well.
sticking in her side.
I know.
He timed it out pretty well.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shot.
Well, it's all in his head, so he can do whatever he wants now, can he?
No, but he does it well. It's not like he just drops it. He's like
he's
looking
aiming.
at her.
Yeah,
and
he's
it's
going around.
Okay.
Yeah,
If he can
because
blow
if he
up
dropped
a
it
cop
straight down, it would do
car
nothing
with a
anyway.
single
So
shot,
he
he can
kind of
do
fling
that
it.
with a chainsaw.
Yeah, okay.
You can do a lot with a chainsaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ice sculptures.
I ate,
You
I
can.
ate some of their
Hedge
brains,
mazes.
and I cooked a little bit of them. I ate some of their brains.
Some fava beans and a nice game.
No, he doesn't say he tried to cook.
Oh,
He
I
tried to cook. So
them.
like,
yeah, I ate some of their brains, and I tried to cook some of them.
just the imagery of him like failing at cooking. Like,
now
oh,
that
shit,
I would have
burnt
liked to
them.
have seen that. That would have been awesome. That would have been a great scene.
Unsuccessful at cooking them.
I pierced the toes.
It's not easy. It's hard to cook.
I can only imagine.
You gotta, cooking a human, you gotta have the right touch.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm a Lagazi.
Bam.
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 I have to return some videotapes. I want to stab you to death and play around in your blood. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it made me laugh then, and it makes me laugh now.
Garbage.
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it, or don't just look at it, eat it. I'm not going to say what it's reference to because it's disgusting, but just the way he says that part makes me laugh. Because he's in the middle
that
of
is the
another
funny part.
musical monologue.
He's asking her to dance.
About
Right.
Genesis. Genesis!
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he breaks out of his little performance. He's like, don't just look at it, eat it.
Yeah. I love their responses are just like, well, how the fuck were we supposed to know?
Yeah.
It's
So
a
he goes
very
from
nice
Genesis,
place
He
you have.
transitions to Phil Collins, and then
I also like when he's like, so, you want to know what I do? And they're like, no. No.
Yeah.
They don't care.
But this is a really expensive place. And then he's like, yeah, it's none of your business.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah.
I work on Wall Street.
this is nicer than the last place. Yeah, I like
Not
that.
that
part.
nice.
Too long, too short. What's missing? What don't we need?
It felt really short. I finished it by 10:30, and it was like, damn, it's early.
You watched it again.
I've never read the book, but the book is supposed to be super graphic and contain a lot more scenes of brutality and like emphasize how misogynistic, racist, sexist, and utterly insane Bateman is. But I'm honestly not sure if it's missing it or if it's a good thing that it's not in there.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish we had seen maybe a clear-cut image of his first kill, like whenever he started killing, whether it was before the movie or, but like I don't know if he just suddenly starts killing. Or but I would have liked to see,
What pushed him?
and just his reaction to like doing it for the first time. Like I kind of intrigued. Like from a psychological standpoint, I want to see that. I would be interested. Go ahead.
Groovy. Yeah, I put no. It's not too long or too short. I said it's fine. It doesn't drag at all. Moves right along, and I don't think it needed or needed anything added or taken away from it.
Yeah, I don't think anything is wasted in this movie. There's no scenes where I'm just like, well, cut that 2 minutes out. We don't need any of this stuff. I could probably, again, there's some scenes that I'm just like, at this point in my life, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to see that. But I don't think it doesn't hurt the film. It helps give you a better idea of this character and how insane he truly is. So it all fits. It all works. It's a good runtime. Yeah. Nothing.
Goldilocks is porridge, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just right.
Just right.
Yeah.
Goldilocks is porridge.
It's a deep cut.
That's good. Yeah.
See what I did there,
I
Tito?
did. I heard it.
The
too.
joke being
cut.
Goldilocks.
Deep cut, right?
Deep cut. Deep throat.
Deep throat. Well,
Deep throat. Don't see that movie.
He
See
did.
video.
Deep 13.
Deep 13. Deep Rising. We could just go on. No, it's fine the way it is. Lengthwise, pace-wise, it's awesome. Quick watch for me.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. It is. I was surprised.
It's a fun, quick watch.
Again, yeah, when I saw the 1 hour and 41 minutes, I was like, really? I thought this was 3 hours long. If you remove the music score, does the film hold up?
Let me backtrack. What I love about this character is he kills the people you want killed or you don't care about because they're just playthings to him. But I could have done without the homeless man killing. I feel like that even for him, it's kind of out of whack with everything going on. Everybody he's killing, it doesn't have a purpose, but it does have a purpose for some odd reason. Yeah.
It's toned
the way
down,
he
too.
looks at women and the way he looks at his competitors. But I feel like, I don't know why, for some reason, this part when he kills the homeless guy, and it's pretty odd because it's called American Psycho, is out of character for him. For some odd reason, it sticks out, and it's like, I don't know. I think even it
has like a one-off feel to it.
Line. Yeah.
The homeless scene makes more sense to me if it's earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like a test trial, where I feel like some of the other characters are like
maybe
could have been like what Derek was saying. That woman could have been like his first kill.
Right. That woman crossing the street comes from somewhere where people care if she disappears, and some of the other characters in the movie that do die. Where
but why not,
if the
why
homeless
not
guy
kill...
dies earlier, then you're like, okay, so he's trying to figure out what it's like to kill a person.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do this. Now it's, okay, how do I get away with it?
But if he's following these people that piss him off, why not kill the person behind the bar like he wants to do? Why not kill the Chinese
that's what I
lady
said.
that screws up the show?
Yeah,
it's
all
like
these
you
different
said.
people that like...
Yeah.
So again, it's like, where are you going with this? I don't know. It's strange. That part, I
If
don't
he
know.
kills
It's
that
just-
Chinese woman, then he can no longer go to the best dry cleaner in the city.
According,
and that
according to
matters
that
him.
lady.
Right.
And it matters to him.
Right.
So
But
I
he
think
will
it's
berate her.
He will berate her. That's a fucking hilarious scene too.
Yeah.
I like that too. It's not like he's just like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
Can you clean this?
And is that supposed to be her husband there? He's not saying anything.
No.
Like he's just chewing out his wife, and the guy's like looking at the stain, like I don't know if I can do this.
He can't get a word in. Anyway, continue.
Where were we? Oh, this. If you remove this music score, does the film hold up?
So this is another one where I don't really recall the actual score itself. I obviously the musical pieces that they use and even the classical music, like those stand out, and I think that those elevate the movie. I think they make it the movie that it is. So I wouldn't think that it would be the same movie without that.
I agree.
But as far as the score, I don't even know. Like I can't recall any type of music.
Neither could I.
Same all around.
But I put like the actual music, the score music. It meant nothing. I don't remember what it was, but the incidental music, what we were trying to come up with before, is diegetic. Diegetic. So it's music that we hear that the characters are hearing.
Right.
The whole Huey
The James
Lewis
Gunn
thing. You can't do that scene without that song, because if you do, you're going to have to change all of his dialogue, because he's talking about Huey Lewis.
Right.
Same thing with the Genesis song. He's talking about like, oh, I didn't get into them until Duke. Before that, I thought that they were all pretentious and artsy-fartsy, and I didn't understand it. But now this is where Phil Collins came into his own.
Yep.
So if you take those songs out, you're going to have to change up the dialogue, which I don't know was in the book. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was I think they had to. Yeah. I think there were certain people that. Oh, I know Whitney Houston. I think she might have been mentioned in the book.
That's right, because I remember reading that they wouldn't
refused.
She wouldn't license.
Oh,
their
right.
music
They don't
for
play her
film.
song, but he talks about greatest love of all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I remember that standing out to me like, oh, we're not hearing
We're
the
not
song
hearing
right now.
Whitney didn't like that.
So-
or Bobby Brown didn't like it. One or the other.
So yeah, the score.
Little Dog
It
don't
could.
like that.
I don't remember it. So
Little Bobby don't like that.
yeah, Little Dog don't like that. But the incidental, the diegetic music.
Yeah.
Yes.
We gotta remember that.
Yes.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I put because we had talked about this with Guardians, like the Guardians music is such a big part of the music in this movie is such a big part of him as a character, and to kind of set you in this timeline of 1980s New York and what is popular. It would lose a lot.
Right.
It would lose.
And
so
a lot of
much.
it's upbeat, whereas he's so cold and calculated.
Oh
that,
yeah, it's like fucking walking on sunshine. You got
Right.
Katrina in the waves, and he's got that fucking insane look in his eyes as he's walking.
Right.
Hip to be square, he's murdering somebody. And then there are love songs playing when he's telling the one prostitute to eat the other prostitute's butthole. So it's the music is used so effectively, and it's like very, it's like obviously metaphoric.
Right.
It's just like right in your face. Hip to be square. How he's talking about his life and all of those things. But yeah, the score, I don't even know what the fuck there was, if there was, but the music itself is phenomenal. Soundtrack.
Yeah, same. Like the songs, don't need the score, or the score doesn't really register when they. Same thing.
How does it stack up?
Top of the heap. Serial killer movies, social commentary movies. It's probably right under Brazil. Definitely, definitely Christian Bale movies, since I'm not really a fan.
Yeah.
So I would definitely put it as like my favorite movie with him.
Mine's still Newsies.
Open the door.
Was he crutchy?
He was crutchy.
He was crutchy. Just admit it. He was crutchy.
That whole movie
I
was
really
crutchy.
I've never seen Newsies, but I know there was a character named Crutchy. That's
There
why.
was. He's
I'm just going
hysterical.
with that joke.
I want
So
you to,
lovable.
I want you to watch Newsies.
He's so lovable.
Maybe we'll watch
Crutchy.
that after this.
Oh, I gotta go. Shit. No.
You got to return some videotapes.
I gotta
I gotta
return some
return some
videotapes.
videotapes.
And they're all copies of Videodrome. It's not true.
That's not true. You would never return those.
No, I wouldn't.
You would hang on to those.
I have
Stick
my
them into your tummy
VHS
vagina. All right, my tummy vagina.
My belly Blu-ray.
My tummy
I
vagina.
got a Blu-ray. I
You gotta
upgraded.
see this movie, Derek.
Oh, this movie's insane.
You gotta see it. The tummy vaginas. You gotta see
You
it.
gotta see it for the time.
Okay.
Yeah, how it stacks up, I'm going to say upper middle. Yep.
Yeah, I like the serial killer one. I might go. Yeah, it's up there. I like Silence of the Lambs is a good one. Christian Bale movies. Yeah, it's probably. Although you named a few, he's really. I like
The Fighter.
I like The Machinist.
I've never
As a
seen it.
one-time watch.
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
one-time watch.
I think he's very good in it. But he's awesome as Mickey Ward's brother in The Fighter. I think he's phenomenal. So yeah, I would, but I would put this up top. Christian Bale performances, serial killer films. Yeah, 80s movies. Yeah. Other
Not
stuff.
80s. It wasn't the
Wedding
80s.
Singer.
What movies that take place in the
Yeah,
eighties?
this took place in the
Wedding.
80s.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's got that 80s vibe.
Yeah.
Faux show.
It does it well.
It does.
That came out at a time when they were doing so many 80s movies, throwbacks to the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Wedding Singer came out around this time, too.
So it might be one of the best of those too.
Yeah.
And that one with Topher Grace.
That
Take Me
80s
Home
show?
Tonight.
Take Me Home
That's
Tonight.
a fucking fun
Yeah.
movie.
Take
I love that
me
shit.
home tonight.
What about you? take you home.
Top. Sorry. Top.
Look at him, he's all verklempt.
Yeah.
Top
Tito,
of the
you wearing a
movies for
raincoat?
Christian Bale and thank you, honey. And upper middle serial killer movies. What the frick? What's the matter?
You said thank you, honey.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh wait, no, I said that. Oh.
You said that.
Yeah.
I was drinking it.
Let's not argue in front of the kids, Tito. Thank you.
If the movie had a post-credit scene,
Nothing. I didn't really need one. It ends on the right note. Anything extra wouldn't have fit.
no,
I don't need a stinger for it.
no.
Yeah, same. I put no. This is not an exit.
Oh,
Right.
This is one of the few times that I actually do have one. 'Cause the
Oh,
last few
wow.
times I haven't.
Bam.
He's sitting in the restaurant. He looks up and sees Lewis gesture to him from the bathroom
And he gets up.
to follow him into the restroom at the restaurant. Patrick gets up and tells his friends he's got to go return some tapes and leaves. Yeah.
And they're all
I was
copies.
like, you know what? This would be awesome, actually.
They're all copies of Newsies. Every
all
one of
copies
them.
Oh, you know what?
Newsies.
All his friends saw
Post
Newsies.
credit scene is actually him in a video store returning videotapes.
Yeah. And none of them are rewound.
None of them are rewound.
These aren't rewound. And you rented Hudson Hawk? What's up, man?
Yeah, right. That'd be funny.
Do you like Newsies?
You got us.
Yeah, I have Paul Allen's business card is floating in like a puddle with a spot of blood on it, and a homeless guy picks it up, looks at it, crumples it up, and throws it in the trash.
Oh, I like that.
Ergo indicating that in the end, everybody is gutter trash at some point.
I like that.
Thank you.
See now is the deep one, Brian.
See that, I didn't need no. Oh, it was in his head all along to do an ending.
My answer was just the tip. Mark went all in.
Oh, damn.
hello.
Mark went balls deep.
I often do. I'm the Christian Bale of it. If you're gonna go in, go all the way.
Oh, good for you.
I like you. I do. Oh God,
He did.
now
He
I
liked the
hate him
guy.
again.
La 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 la, traipsing through my set.
This guy's trying to make a movie.
He's making a movie. He didn't like
Actors
not
are all-
defuse
they're
a
all
bomb
pretentious.
in time, or
And he's just
something.
being paid to act in it. He wasn't directing it.
Yeah, calm yourself. And it's Terminator Salvation.
Oh, that's right. That's the movie
For
it was.
crying out
never
loud.
saw
And I just want a concerted effort to not come out of an upbeat song and do a goddamn dead dog dedication. And where are the goddamn pictures you promised me?
It's good.
Good.
Better ending?
I mean, I like the ending just the way it is. I think maybe, like I said, I think maybe the scene with the cat could have gone. I'm torn about the ATM cat thing. The fact that the machine says it just kind of cements the fact
That it's in his
that
head.
that he's lost it, but doesn't push the needle too far. But other than that, I mean, I like it. Although I do like your both of yours really. You could have ended as that.
You like
as
our
your
end credits,
post-credit.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What about mine? Returning videotapes.
Oh, that one, yes, absolutely.
That could have been the after credits.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a mid-credit scene and a post-credit
Yeah.
scene.
That's the what's the Avengers one? The shawarma.
Yeah,
That's the
shawarma
shawarma.
scene.
The shawarma.
Like no
Standing in
dialogue,
line.
just him
Returning
returning the
videotapes.
videotapes.
And like Tito says, none of them are rewound. So he's
One at
getting
a
hit with
time,
late
putting him in
fees.
the Dropbox.
Good old days. Better ending for you, Brian?
Yeah, no, like Derek said, I like the ambiguous ending. Was it all in his head? Was it not in his head?
I had a point in my life where I absolutely hated ambiguous endings. It made me so angry.
Yeah.
Inception is one of those movies.
Oh,
that
yeah.
makes me
Did it or
fucking mad.
didn't, though,
Did it
yeah.
topple over? Just tell me if it did or didn't.
I don't
Eventually
do
it
that
did
either.
because they don't really work that way. So
Well, in the, if
the
if
dream
they're in
world,
the
they-
dream, it would have
if you
done it
continued watching
forever.
the footage, like the actual raw footage, it falls.
Yeah. But then I'm not in the
Chris
dream
Nolan
either.
comes in and
It was
picks
a
it up.
CGI top. It didn't move
Oh,
at all. No.
Yeah, it was a CGI top. But
It's
yeah.
actually the world spinning around it.
Oh.
Now who's deep?
That's balls deep.
But that drove me crazy for years. So then I got to a point where I said, I decide how this movie ends.
There you go.
You don't decide.
Yeah.
I'm the god.
I
I'm
decided
the god.
it really happened. It all really happened, and he got away with it because he's a fucking yuppie loser that nobody cares about, and he's got some status, and those people tend to slip through the cracks and get away with terrible shit.
I like your ending
They
better.
get away with terrible
I'll
shit
go with that,
sometimes.
yeah.
So yeah, I like the ending. I like it. It's fun.
No, sir, don't like it. Made a down a few pegs because of that twist.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Sorry.
That's tough, man. When you got a movie like that, and then you just. It's like a dead.
Nah, still
For you.
still a good
For
movie.
you, at
I like
least, yeah.
two-thirds of
movie,
it.
but for me, I just know it's like this is all good, but I know where it's going. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
If you like this, you might also like.
Maniac, Fresh, Basic Instinct, Pleasure, which I just watched. Fantastic movie. Audition, Romance, Pretty Persuasion, The Neon Demon, Cruel Intentions, and High Tension. I actually like High Tension. I know you don't like it.
High
No, I
Tension.
liked it until the
But
end.
I
Again,
see,
it was another.
I liked
like
it until
that.
the end too.
Yeah.
See, I didn't mind the
Fresh?
I've never
With
seen
Samuel
it, but
Jackson?
apparently now I don't have
France.
to.
Go to a
Fresh is the one on Hulu about the guy who he's a cannibal.
Oh.
And it's
Not the Samuel Jackson.
No, it's
Okay, I
it's
was like,
new.
no.
It just got, I
About
think
chess.
I think it came out last year.
The one about the kids
No.
who play chess in the hood? I don't know what.
No, I've never heard of that one. No, not that one.
Okay.
No,
Is
sir.
that the one with?
I forget who.
Winter Soldier?
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian
Yes,
Stan?
absolutely.
okay. I know what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Yep, on Hulu.
Brian.
So, if you like this film, I suggested you might also like to watch A Clockwork Orange, Fight Club, Psycho, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Joker, and Identity.
Oh, nice.
Identity. Good.
Those are good. I put The Joker, The Machinist, Requiem for a Dream.
Good
Eyes,
one.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
The Beach, because I feel like it kind of turns. I like the first half of that movie a lot more than the second half, but he definitely goes completely insane and pretends he's in a video game, which is fun. So those are mine.
I love the ending of Requiem for a Dream.
I have Man Bites Dog, Taxi Driver, Train Spotting, High Tension, Dial M for Murder, Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Misery.
Nice. Good one.
And another movie that I think is great is Frailty. Check that movie out too.
Oh, yes.
Bill Paxton and Powers Booth
and Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Awesome movie. Awesome
Frailty.
movie. Oh, check it out.
Is
Tito.
he? Isn't he? Does he? Doesn't he? It's good.
Wicked good. Wicked good.
Wicked piss.
Wicked good.
I want to write that down, but hold on. Let me go back to the thing because we're doing the thing.
The thing. You can't even say it.
Award for what are you doing in this movie?
Payphones in the Twin Towers. No, I'm kidding.
That's pretty good.
Guinevere Turner, who plays Elizabeth, she's from Boston, and she's a close friend of Kevin Smith from Chasing Amy and Dogma. Gwen Turner in Mallrats is named after her. They're really good friends.
Oh, okay.
She co-wrote the script as well for American Psycho, but yeah, I had known her from the other stuff, which is cool. And also Park Bench.
Yeah, I saw that name in there. Yeah. No.
So
I thought that was made up.
No, it's a stage name, but
for real, nobody thought of naming their kid.
But he's the goth guy, the goth kid. That
Oh,
they meet
the fake Rob Smith.
at a space.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
I got the homeless guy, Reggie Cathy. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Did I jump?
Brian.
I jumped
You did
you.
jump,
Brian.
Fuck, I'm sorry, Brian.
Go ahead, Reggie.
No. Edit me out. Edit me
We're all
out
out
and
of
then
order
back
today.
in.
This whole podcast's out of order. Hoo-ah. Hoo-ah.
I'm trying to look up Park Bench. And then no.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
I
please,
just
please,
put
please.
Justin Theroux. This, I think, is the first thing I've ever seen him in.
Right.
And one of the funniest things is, the first time I remember seeing this guy's name, he wrote the screenplay for Iron Man 2. He also wrote the screenplay for Tropic Thunder.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. So he's a screenwriter as well as an
Theroux
actor.
did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Justin Theroux. Yes, sir.
Nice.
But I think this is the first thing because I saw this movie.
But then he made Charlie's Angels.
Did he?
I think Full
Oh,
Throttle.
he's in
I think
that.
he's in
in
Full
one of
Throttle.
those. Yeah, he is.
Oh, I thought
You ever see-
McGee did that.
Was he? Your Highness?
yeah.
No. I mean, he was in it.
directed
Oh, he was in the movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
McGee directed it.
Oh.
You ever see Your Highness?
I
He plays
did.
The
Yeah.
bad guy?
Yep.
The wizard? or
He
whatever?
was. He was the Wizard King.
Is that the one with...
Don't make triangle face. I hate
Danny
triangle
Bright.
face.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I haven't seen that one.
Natalie
Yeah.
Portman?
I like-
Oh,
Yeah.
she's
I
Oh,
like
she
Kevin
she
McBride.
looks great in that movie.
Oh, Padme May.
pretty good.
Thank you.
Reggie Cathy.
Yeah.
Reggie Cathy, the homeless guy from The Wire, Oz, Pootie Tang.
I love Tang.
He's
Square
Franklin
One.
Storm. Square One, he's Franklin Storm. He plays Luke Cage's dad in the show, James Lucas.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he played Luke Cage's dad. He's a good actor.
He is. R.I.P.
He's like the B version of Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, I guess, yeah, they're probably working as long, but yeah, he definitely, Giancarlo
'Cause he
Esposito hit. Giancarlo Esposito's in every television show on
Because
it.
which one with them did he play Cyborg's dad in
No,
Justice League? Who was
that was Joe Morton.
Joe
wasn't
Morton.
it?
Morton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from T2.
Oh, because he's good
Miles
too.
Dyson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Miles Dyson.
Right.
Miles Dyson.
The brother from another planet.
She's gonna blow him away.
Eureka. Wasn't he on Eureka? Was that Joe Morton?
He was on
Oh,
Eureka.
yeah.
What's
Yes,
Eureka?
the
Yeah.
inventor. The TV show with the Maytag guy. I can't remember
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his
Great
name either,
actor.
But yeah, Craig
Came
something.
and
Was it
went.
Craig something?
Sure.
Ferguson? No, his
No,
last
not
name was
Craig.
Ferguson. No,
Robinson.
not Craig Ferguson. But I think his last name was Ferguson.
You might be right. We could check it out if you want.
Eureka?
Eureka. It was
Rob
a sci-fi
Ferguson?
channel
What was it about?
series.
Yeah.
It was
Colin
about
Ferguson.
Colin Ferguson.
Oh.
Okay, so he
I
was the
way
sheriff
off.
of this town that was just made up of geniuses that worked for the government.
Oh.
And the town was like totally off the grid.
Oh.
When he came into town not knowing what it was all about. He's the new sheriff, and of course,
But he's not a genius.
he's not a genius.
Okay.
No, he's like the only one he's like the dumb guy in town now. But it's him and his daughter, and they show up, and hilarity ensues.
So the opposite of Idiocracy.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, and it ran for 5 seasons or more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
a
good.
very
Yeah.
popular show at the time.
2006 to
Yeah,
2012.
and I like that actor.
Yeah.
Should have done more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure
and
he's
he became the
making good
Maytag repairman
He's
after
making money
Eureka
off that.
ended.
He needs help though.
Yeah, everybody does.
Mm.
Good call. MVP?
Right on then.
Oh no! What
are we doing? What are we doing in this movie? Daisy, Samantha Mathis. I forgot she was in this. She totally disappeared. She should be in Mushroom Land, saving the king. How did she end up in high society life?
She got lost because they left back to New York. And
stupid movie. All right.
Lost her.
She's on mushrooms.
She is.
Yeah, for sure.
She was strung out on something.
Ludes were a thing.
Yeah.
I almost went Josh Lucas because I forgot about him. He was a thing, and now he isn't.
I know.
He was in Session 9.
Josh Lucas, are you famous?
Oh my God, that's right. We watched that last year.
Right.
Some people think you're famous.
He's a good actor. He should have been in more things.
Yeah, and he's not a good actor of late. If you saw that giant shark movie, Black Demon, remember he was in...
That was him?
Who's gonna try in a movie like that?
A lot of people would.
Oh, you never know.
Tommy Wiseau would.
You never know. There's a
he needs
steady
money.
paycheck in it. I'll act out anything you say.
He did. He tried enough. He tried.
This is MVP, Derek.
Bale. I hate to give it to him because I don't usually like him, but this film's his. It works because of his performance. He goes all in and just encompasses Bateman. No one else is at this level in the whole thing. There's not a single actor, even though there's great actors and they give some great performances. No one touches him. He commands the screen throughout the entire thing,
especially while he's working, because you will get yelled at if you do try to.
And as we know, I will be the first to admit when a shitty person or actor that I don't like does a good job.
Oh, amen to that. Yeah.
So good job, Bale.
Yeah.
Good job.
Go
Carrie Kelly is an awesome Robin.
One of the better Robins.
For sure.
Oh, you guys suck.
Ariel Winter voiced her in the Dark Knight movie.
Who doesn't like slingshots? I don't understand.
Everybody likes slingshots.
Everybody likes slingshots.
You just never had a slingshot, son.
For those of you at home, Derek is now donning the raincoat.
Hip to be square.
This is Susudio.
That's a good song.
Brian?
I've got Willem Dafoe.
Really?
Yeah, I did. At first, and this is what I wrote last night. I put he was the only likable person in the movie.
It's true.
That's still not as shocking as you naming Carrie Fisher your MVP.
Oh, the winner last
Really?
year.
You
Yeah.
didn't like that?
No,
I
I
loved
did. I was surprised that's who you picked. She's like one of the most uninteresting.
Brian's on a like whichever character is the level-headed one.
Yeah, I kind of be
You
going
like
that
the
way.
level-headed? I figured it was just because she was a Star Wars alumni.
They bring balance to the Force.
They're my little islands to cling to in the sea of insanity this month.
All right.
See?
Your hills to die on.
My hills to die on.
I like it. I went Bale. He's fucking crushing this movie.
I've given enough love to Bale, more than I care to, so I'm going to give it to Mary Herron. I love my ladies who direct horror, and there was still less doing it back then than there are now, and I think it's great now, and I got to give her props for making a great movie, even if she went with that twist ending. Still forgive her. She made a great film overall.
Yeah,
and
ballsy,
awesome.
Yeah,
ballsy.
It was a ballsy.
For someone who doesn't have balls, it's ballsy.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's American Psycho.
That's right.
All around, thumbs up.
Awesome.
Thumbs up.
Holy
I'm
smokes.
a happy camper, rocking and rolling.
Down to the beach, I'm strolling.
That's very good.
What's making our geek flag wave, gentlemen?
All right.
Or fly. Fly. What's making our geek flag fly on the podcast wave?
That's better.
You like that? Yeah.
I did.
So
You're being facetious, aren't you?
No, I actually
Totally
really
facetious.
like it.
So every now and then I bring up wrestling, and I'm doing it again.
Oh, for the love.
Fuck you. IWTV. It's independentwrestling.tv is the website. It's a streaming service. It's available on Apple, Google, Amazon, and Roku. It's $100 for the year, and it's access to like literally hundreds of independent wrestling promotions. They all kind of film their events anyway. They put them up there. It features classic stuff from yesteryear with some of the biggest names of today, as well as all new events with some extremely talented performers who are destined for the big league someday. I've really into it. I play 2K24 before 2K23, the wrestling game that the WWE puts out, and I like making like an independent show with all just like random people, and some of these guys are awesome. So it's really cool. So if you're a wrestling fan, you like independent stuff, it's it's $100, but it gets you for the year, and they add stuff every week. Every week there's promotions everywhere across the country, and they put them up, and you can check it out.
These are all live events.
Boom.
They do have stuff that does stream live. Like they'll live feed things, but yeah, they're all live events. Like whether it's at a beer hall or a fucking restaurant or a fair, whatever.
They used to give that to you
They're
for
all
free
over.
on public access.
Yeah,
they did.
Right,
like,
but you'd
way
only
back
have
in the
access
day.
to your local
To your
stuff. So
local
like,
stuff.
I mean, there's a ton of New England promotions that are huge, and and a lot of people like follow these people, and you'll see the same wrestlers on different promotions because they travel around. But people up here, if it was on local access, we wouldn't be able to see things like Deep South Wrestling or
Right.
stuff out in California or Midwest. So
True that.
it's cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know it's not one of those things that everybody's into, but I like it. I like it.
It doesn't matter. Your geek flag is flying.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. It could be about toast, like something
That's
Tito
right.
would talk
That's
about.
right.
Yeah,
Tito
I
hasn't
got body
talked
slam
about
some
toast.
toast right
everybody
now.
likes toast.
Fucking Stone Cold Stun some
Have you
toast.
actually ever eaten toast?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, good. I just want to be sure. Well, I don't know.
I ate it with eggs, bacon.
Do you stare at it?
Fucking,
Do you ever wonder why this toast is on your plate?
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Who did this to us?
All the time.
Brian, what's your geek flag?
I just got a couple of things. Couple of trailers dropped. One was for Star Wars: The Acolyte, which is a new series coming out on Disney Plus in June.
With X-23.
Huh?
X-23's in it. Daphne Keene.
Oh, I'm like X-23. That's a whole other thing.
From,
Logan. Sorry.
Yeah,
From Logan.
I didn't realize that she was in it.
Yep.
Cool. The other one that I've got is Mad Max Furiosa just dropped another trailer and it looks fantastic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that movie looks fun.
Yeah, it does look a lot of fun. And really quick, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you guys know, I'm taking Quinn to New York next month.
Awesome.
We're going. April vacation starts, and we're going to take her from like the 13th through the 15th.
You staying in Hell's Kitchen?
We are staying at the hotel that we
Nice!
stayed
Awesome.
at.
All
We're
right.
staying at the
Awesome.
hotel that we stayed at.
Awesome.
But the other day I was looking, and I'm like, what's to do around there? And I already
Rickshaw.
had an idea of
Rickshaw
what to
drive-
do.
rides.
Rickshaw
Yeah,
rides.
totally.
This topic, yeah. Here's $50, Quinn. Buy as many CDs off that guy that you can.
You mean pieces of paper with a code you can
Paper, yeah.
scan?
Download my tape.
Go to hell, New York.
So I went on to Broadway.com because where we're staying is like 2 blocks over from where
Right.
Broadway is. And I'm looking and like they've got The Outsiders, which Quinn was into. She read the book last year for school. And she
Oh,
like,
really?
But there's a
Cool.
Broadway play about The Outsiders. Wicked is there. Hamilton's there, but they're all pricey.
Yeah.
One that was very reasonable that I'm looking at that she might like is Back to the Future.
Oh,
Oh, I
nice.
heard it was good.
That's what I heard too. So I did a little research on it. The reviews were more than favorable, and I pulled the trigger. So we're going to go
Nice.
see Back to the
Awesome.
Sheet.
Is she
I got to
here?
keep looking because she doesn't know. She
Oh.
doesn't even know we're going to New York. let alone
Awesome.
taking her to a
So
Broadway.
all
just the
you
two of
at
you?
home, don't say anything.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you see my daughter, just keep it hush.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I'm excited. I've never seen a Broadway play before. Never really cared, but I mean, it's Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
and they're fun.
And I told Sarah about it because your wife is taking your kids the following week. Though.
She's going. But you're just gonna miss them.
Yeah.
They're going the following week. They're
Yeah.
going with my mom and my sister and my daughters. They're having a girls' trip, so I don't
that's
know
cool.
what they're gonna do. But Sarah saw Back to the Future in the parade number.
She told me,
and she was like, "Be wary."
Yeah.
That's what she said. Just
Yeah.
be wary.
I texted her to
be
tell her.
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
But it's a parade. You
Yeah,
can't go
that's
by
what I
those.
told her. I said
Yeah.
parades suck.
Yeah.
And it's only like one song that they're doing, like out of
But
it's not even in the context.
But
of
you
the
have to
play.
understand, this is Sarah's favorite film of all time.
I got that.
So
That's
it
why I
doesn't
told her.
matter
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
She's going to hold a high
Yeah.
opinion of anything
Yeah.
that besmirches Back to the Future. In any
I
way.
get that.
Yeah.
I get that. One more thing before I go to Tito. Marco Mazzola. I just want to give a quick shout out.
That's right, yes.
Marco Mazzola, for those of you who don't know, is a friend of ours from Boston. He does another podcast called the Entertainment Rants podcast, and Marco lost his mother recently, so we just want to give a shout out to Mark and let him know that he and his family are in our thoughts. And
We love you, Marco. Our deepest condolences, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Definitely.
He's a great guy.
Tito.
Well, we should just end the show, I think. Shout out Marco. Season 2 of K63 came out last year, and I forgot.
What's
about
K63?
So K63 is I talked about it. It might have been last year. It's Oscar Isaac and Julianne Moore.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they're like 7 to 13-minute episodes, and it's essentially.
Oh yes, I remember this.
Oscar Isaac goes back in time to convince Julianne Moore to help him stop a woman from spreading a deadly virus. And that is the majority of season 1, him trying to convince her that he is in fact from the future. Season 2 just came out. It's fucking awesome, man. It's in total, it's about an hour long.
What's it on?
It's Spotify. I listen to it on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
It was originally a Spanish language podcast that somebody wrote in English, and Oscar Isaacs and Julianne Moore produce it. And it's basically what could have happened if, let's say, the coronavirus continued to grow and change, and what it would have turned into and what would have happened to the world. And so basically in the year 2062, he goes back in time to try to stop the coronavirus. There's tons of like actual history in the show mixed with some, fictitious events. But like this season, she goes back to 2012, and the big topic of discussion is like the Mayan calendar and how the world's going to end. And but it's a really fun time traveler's wife-ish.
Okay.
But it's like it's a love story. It's really fun. They're both amazing actors, so it's done very, very well. They're emoting through my fucking car stereo. Like, they're so good.
Case 63.
Case 63.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you first said it, I thought it was K2. I was just searching for
No. Case 63.
Case,
That's the name of the case that's given to Oscar Isaacs because she is his therapist when he appears.
Okay.
She thinks he's insane, and he's trying to convince her that he's a time traveler.
Is it on Apple or is it just Spotify?
It's on.
It might be on Apple. I listened to it on Spotify.
All right.
The other thing is I watched the first episode of X-Men 97 today.
Oh,
I haven't watched
I didn't
it yet.
even realize it dropped.
Yeah, they dropped today. There's 2 episodes.
I haven't seen it yet.
First episode is fucking awesome.
Oh, cool.
I have never been a Cyclops fan.
Yeah.
They make Cyclops so badass in this show.
Really?
Like all the things I never thought you could do with a guy with laser eyes.
Yeah.
Like his fighting style.
Yeah.
He like jumps out of the X-Wing and shoots a blast so big that it slows him down, and then he just fucking lands, and he's like,
cool.
all right, X-Men, assemble. Kind of situation. It's when you think everybody's who flies is going to save somebody, he's just like, no, fucking laser.
So how's the animation look?
It's not bad.
Do they make it like purposefully janky like they did back in the 90s?
So I know there was that picture of like Rogue's butt floating around.
That was
that was no big deal.
I think the animation is the only way I can. I guess I could compare it to like when King of the Hill changed their animation.
Okay.
And you were like, oh, this is a little bit different, but the show's still really, really funny.
Yeah.
Because King of the Hill used to have this like really kind of grainy look to it.
It was very or even
like
early seasons of Family Guy.
Right,
Same
like
thing.
his Mike Judge style.
Right.
And then it got super crisp at one point. It's a crisper look. You can tell some of the voice actors aren't the same.
Right.
Some of them are pretty close.
But Cal Dodd is back as Wolverine, right?
Yeah. And the woman who does Storm, Bishop is a major player on the team now. He's not just a time traveler.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Boulevard Trask is in the first episode. Henry Gyrick is in the first episode. So it was cool to see all those characters from those earlier, from the original cartoon.
Awesome.
And the fighting scenes, I think, has everybody seen the trailer where Gambit charges up Wolverine's claws?
No.
He charges up
No, I don't
Wolverine's
think
claws,
so.
and they start to glow pink, and then he takes his bow staff, throws it, it explodes, it sends Wolverine into the air. Morph turns into the Blob. He bounces off the Blob and just fucking slices right through a Sentinel.
Nice.
It looks so cool.
That's awesome.
Like you could tell where it's gotten much better is how they're animating the action.
That's cool.
But it's fun. It's after the first episode, it's like, and they're 33 minutes.
Nice.
Oh, good.
So they're a little bit.
I've been
longer.
rewatching the series to prepare for this.
I love that.
Liam watched has watched it like 2 or 3 times now. The first version.
Yeah.
And he loves it. So I'm looking forward to watching it with him.
It was a great show. Super sophisticated, I think, for the time it came out and the subject matter. But yeah, this new one I think will be very good.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to the new one. I got Shake, Rattle, and Roll, a Filipino horror anthology movie on Netflix. If you don't mind subtitles, definitely check this out. It's got goat demons. It's got monsters. It's got a zombie apocalypse. It is very well filmed. It's got some great practical and special effects. The stories are pretty cool, and I love the actors in them.
Any karaoke?
Huh?
Are they doing karaoke?
No karaoke, but there is a section that involves YouTube influencers, and they do dancing and stuff. It's streaming on Netflix. Definitely give it a check out. It's kind of cool because while it's in subtitles, there are times when they are speaking English and the subtitle captions just go right on.
Disappear.
No, they don't disappear. They just
Oh,
they
they
keep
continue
going through the
as
whole thing, whether it's English or
interesting.
foreign. Yeah, it does, but
Filipino.
it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Filipino.
Shake,
yeah.
rattle, and
Shake, rattle, and roll extreme. It's an odd name for it, but it's we're fans of anthology movies.
Yes.
Definitely
Yeah, we
give it a
are.
Oh,
watch.
it's an anthology. Okay, you said
Yeah.
that. It's new?
yeah,
Just came out.
Yeah, it came out this year, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Also, I finally watched Masters of the Universe Revolution. Phenomenal. I liked Revelation just fine, but this one is even better. It continues right where the other one left off. And there's more characters in this one that you get to see do more than just appear for like a cameo.
Nice.
It was really great to see that. The battle scenes are insane. The animation is top notch. I love Melissa Benoist.
Benoist, yeah.
Tila,
Supergirl.
so much better than Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Fits the character.
The voice is good.
The voice is great. Skeletor is fantastic. The Horde is awesome. I'm really looking forward to what they're doing next. The way they leave it off, I can't wait. So I was really excited about that.
Cool.
Definitely see this.
What was it? Not Orko. What's the other guy that they bring from the movie?
I thought it was awesome. Gwildor.
Gwildor.
Yeah, it was good that they gave that movie a shout out, and I liked Gwildor, and I liked Gwildor and Orko in their little buddy cop kind of thing. It was great.
Speaking of Marco, he and his crew just did an episode on Masters of the Universe last week or the week before. It was a very fun episode.
Yeah,
and the scene the part that you're talking about, they also mentioned, I guess, the Cadillac you can see in a certain scene.
Oh no!
The
Really?
Cadillac is like kind of like parked up against the castle in the back. One of the guys pointed it out. It might have been Marco, might have been Larry. I forget.
Well, it's really great because during all the big battle scenes, they're bringing out all the toys you had as a kid, and I love William Shatner as Kaldor, human Skeletor. Awesome. And you had mentioned it when I texted you, Tito. They got two people to play Skeletor, pretty much. Mark Hamill is Skeletor, and William Shatner is Keldor. How does that work? You got to see.
And they're both. Yeah, they're both. I am not a William Shatner fan, but he is really good.
I am, and I think he's. I think he's great. Yeah. I think the cast is great. The voice casting is perfect. And for those who had a problem with any lack of He-Man in the last one, plenty of He-Man, plenty of Skeletor. What they do with Tila's character is top notch. I can't say enough good things about it. I was pleasantly surprised at this.
So if I haven't seen the first one, should I watch that before I see
Yes, you should, because it's going to make the outcome.
And it's only like 6 or 8 episodes anyway.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they're not
really
that
short.
long. Yeah, 26 minutes, and it's going to make the outcome even more special.
So much better.
Yeah, cool. And lastly, very quickly, I'm excited to announce it. I know no one's on board with this, but I'm excited. Are you? You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
If you're on board. Well, guys, I'm a big fan of that Blood and Honey Winnie the Pooh movie. That revolting thing that most people hated that I love.
I actually dug it. I like.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Well, the second one.
You're in for a treat, Brian.
The second one's coming out in the end of the month, and because so many people were talking about Blood and Honey, and it got so much recognition, they are taking any public domain character Disney covered and making a horror version of it. It is going to eventually lead to a giant crossover with all these monsters, and they are calling it the Pooniverse.
Are you serious?
Dude, there's artwork and everything.
It's brilliant.
Pinocchio, Peter Pan, who else?
Well, I know
Bambi,
Mad Hatter,
the Mad
Sleeping
Hatter,
Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, well,
Steamboat
they could
Willie.
do like Cinderella and Snow White
They
too.
can
I would
do them
imagine.
all.
Yeah.
Why not? They're already making a Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, but it's I think it's not the same company, right?
I don't know if Steamboat Willie is a part of this one. Or if this is another
Well, if he's
one.
in the public domain, they can do their own version.
Peter Pan, I would
They
assume.
could very well.
So Peter Pan,
is.
they are doing that. There's a creepy version of Peter Pan.
Peter Pantsless.
Peter Pantsless.
Yeah, Peter
If
Pan's.
you thought Peter Pan and Tinkerbell's relationship was weird and Hook, I can only imagine what they're going to do with this one.
Bambi, Peter Pan, and Pinocchio are the ones getting their own movies.
Right.
But then they're going to all combine
Hey,
those
Pinocchio.
plus these
Where are
additional
you
characters.
going?
Yep.
Did you see the picture?
The picture. Yeah, it's
That
totally
looks
like
so
Avengers.
cool. Yeah.
They purposely modeled the poster
They used the
after-
font and everything. The
Oh, I
Avengers
gotta
font.
see this.
The
I gotta see
Pooniverse.
this.
Right.
Pooniverse.
They know what they have. They
Right.
know what they're, like you said,
Very
childish.
They bought
and
their tickets.
I say
let
them
them crash.
But you know what? It's something different.
Right.
And I'm giving them props
I'll
for
be there
going
for
with
it.
And I'm going to see every one of these.
Yeah,
So,
they're genius.
I'm going with that. That's it. That's all I
The
got.
Pooniverse.
The
Pooniverse.
Pooniverse.
Can't keep a straight face when I say it.
you
That's
can't.
just
Oh, Sarah, clear your schedule, honey.
nice.
That's it. Is
That's
that our
it.
geek flag?
That's
well,
it.
you know, guys, we don't have a Pooniverse, but we have a universe of awesome episodes.
That we do.
Of every shape and size, all waiting for you. If you like the show, if you've heard the show for the first time and you thought this show was awesome, I need to hear more of this, you can go to, if you didn't like the show and you need to know where to stay away from this, go to hell. But if you like the show, Brian, where can they go?
Mark, first of all, because Tito doesn't like Shatner, I'm going to do this entire section of the show as William Shatner.
He's putting on the raincoat.
Tito's turned to don the raincoat.
I remember the last time Brian did this.
I know. Tito's ears were bleeding.
Dark City.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Where can they go to, Brian?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number 3.
gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons where you can easily subscribe to us. If you're not already a subscriber, please hit one of those shiny buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an upcoming episode. Our Ko-fi page has a link there. We have a Ko-fi page, Derek.
We do. That's
Jared,
right.
We have a Ko-fi page.
And it would be
page-
really helpful.
Ko-fi page is very much like Patreon, so if you like the show, and we really hope you do, you might consider making a small donation to help keep the show going, because as we say, podcasting is not cheap. Our email links are there. Our social media presences are linked there as well. We can be found at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our audio portion of our show can be found weekly at YouTube, and that can be linked there as well. Most importantly, please consider leaving a 5-star rating and a review. It helps immensely to push our little show further forward from the rest of the podcast pack, and most importantly, it makes it easier for others to find us while they're searching. And I think that's pretty much it, Mark, so I'm going to pass this back to you. But before I do, thank you out there, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for listening and tuning in and staying with us through our wonderful just mishaps, because they're all a lot of fun. Join us.
That kind of summed up the last 5 years.
It kind of did. Yeah, it kind of did. It kind of did.
Cyan. Cyan.
Herbace. I saw the cyan, and it opened up my mind. Ace of Base was a thing. All right, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Hey, guys, thank you very much for listening, and join us next time as we conclude our In the March of Madness with another crazy and insane in the membrane movie. So until next time, I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying keep watching the skies, because we have to go return some videotapes. All right? Stomach vagina.
Not too bad.
Thank you, and good night.
No, good
It's a
change.
good change.
Used to be shit house. There's no tracking button either. There's no tracking button on that vagina.
You can't track. You can only play it.
Just
You
play the
can't
video.
So if
rewind
it's
it.
fuzzy, it's fuzzy.
No, it's
fuzzy.
clear every time. It's clear every
You used to
time.
call the groundskeeper. It's a little too fuzzy.
Sometimes you got to take it out and blow on it.
The tape comes alive and bites. It bites, man.
Somebody said the tracking button was a myth.
You're all disgusting.
Good night.
Pooniverse. Who's going to the Pooniverse with me?
No worries.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a sip of my drink.
Take a sip of your drinks, gentlemen.
Dee-ba-dee-da-dee-ba-do.
That was one of mine, though.
What,
gone to a
Diba-Diba?
musical called Oh
sorry.
Africa, Brave Africa. So funny. It makes me, and I didn't Google it to see if it was actually real.
Right, I don't think it
I was
is.
like,
But
what if it was? Because it's hilarious.
Yeah. It was a laugh riot. Like clearly, it's not a comedy. It's got to be some type of beloved, you know.
It could be like, oh God, you know, or like the gods must be crazy, something like that. Oh, laugh riot. Oh, Africa, Brave Africa.
Could do this all night. That's my act. Good night, folks.